We are live for the first time in 2016, and it's no April Fools this time. This is DG game night, where we pretty much only play the Demon Hunters role-playing game. We are now playing the brand spanking new, out for sale, leather-bound version. In fact, oh, there's Sarah. It is now out and available. You can also pick up this bad boy. This is the soft cover edition, and there's also a hardcover in this design at Drive-Thru RPG. But Demon Hunters, a comedy of terrors, the full-fledged version is now. We'll be playing that tonight. Joining us tonight, we have a special guest DM, Ben Dobyns. Hi, Ben.
Hello, Don.
This is where you talk. Fair enough. And he prepared a special adventure for us tonight, and I'm kind of using this as an experiment because not everybody here is going to be solid on the rules, so we're going to be kind of explaining how to play during the gameplay. So bear with us, but that's kind of the point of this, is to get people excited to play and go, hey, I want to try that. So DemonHuntersRPG.com is where you go to buy the things. And I think we are going to begin. Joining us today, so once again, we have Ben Dobyns, our guest DM. According to my screen, to his right is Ben Honeycutt, our resident illustrator.
Hey.
And of course, like the dynamic duo that they are, joining Ben Honeycutt, because we have my two Bens tonight, is Jimmy McMichael.
Hello.
Jimmy has written a goddamn lot of this book.
So much.
And yeah, we've turned him into a game designer. So welcome. Matthew Hunt joining us from Australia.
Morning.
Welcome again. And Sarah Moore joining us from Chicagoland.
Hi.
Hello. And we have Ellie Seacrest from
Greetings. Ohio.
Ohio. Very good. And Ellie is one of our backers, just like Matthew Hunt, and so we're really glad to have you to learn this game and play this game and have fun in a Demon Hunters adventure. Behind me, I'm in my garage today, and so that's fun because I'm getting ready to move. Yay! Buying a house. It's been crazy. Crazy balls. So I get to be a player tonight, and tonight I'm going to be playing Barney Sliver Frakes. But we'll get to we'll have Ben Dobyns take care of the character introductions however he wants it. So take it away, Ben.
Excellent. Well, I too am getting ready to move, as you can see from all the boxes behind me. And I've been out on the Journey Quest set for the last week. We've been shooting Journey Quest Season 3. And tonight's adventure is actually inspired by an event that we had on set. But before we dive into that, I think it's really important to figure out. So, are all of you a chapter of Demon Hunters, or do we need to find another way to kind of put you all together into the same place?
I think we're maybe a newly formed chapter. I don't know. What do you think, Jimmy?
We're usually chapter row 7.
Yeah, but there's only like what?
High 7.
One person from 2 people from that group. Yeah, we have 2. Sarah's representing.
Okay, so maybe half the group is out somewhere else, and these folks are moonlighting or helping to train.
That's usually what happens with row 7. Row 7 is just, it's kind of the slacker chapter.
I know Ursula's still in prison, so.
Yeah, Ursula's in prison. Vlad, I think something happened with Vlad.
I work very hard.
What was that, Sarah?
I work very hard.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, so we are chapter row 7 today.
All right, sitting in your chapter house, which is thanks to last week's explosion, you're hanging out in a storage unit somewhere in the unmentionable suburbs. But it's a roof over the head, and you're able to get the phone lines kind of redirected to there in case any calls come in. So that's good news. And let's just start where you've been giving you a little time to just sit around and get to know each other before you become aware of all the terrible things that are happening while you're being social.
Real quick, Ellie, if you could mute your thing when you're not talking, it's constantly flashing to you.
Okay, yep, that's fine.
Thank you.
Awesome. So does this chapter have a leader, or are we a leaderless group of misfits who needs strict guidance?
I like to stick my 2 cents in whenever Jack Bishop is not around. One Brian Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
And so at this point, I'm kind of I'm looking at this group like, yeah, these guys will listen to me and anything I say, definitely.
Excellent. So you're the one who will probably get the call.
I would hope so.
Yeah. Any need to do group introductions here? I don't want to step on toes.
Well, Gary
you
has
probably
worked
should.
with the group before.
Right. So the 3 of us, we're known, but we should probably introduce the new members of the team, or like the people we've decided to train. So
I'm kind of interested to hear how relationships have gone now that Gary is back among you, because he had a rather harried experience this last go around.
We got him the medical care that he needed in a roundabout sort of way.
Gary's just been released back to duty after much care and treatment at the warehouse and Brotherhood Academy. Her doctor may have done some grafting of various things from various other places of his body to get him looking less like Freddy Krueger and more like a regular human again.
It's awfully kind of him.
But yes, no, Gary is fighting fit human again. Human.
All right.
And who's new again? Remind me of the players.
Well, I believe
I
Don
am.
has a new character.
Okay. Fantastic.
And I get to play for once, so that's cool. My name's Barney. I'm new. Welcome. Hello. And I know a little bit of this and that. You know what I mean? I can scrap. I'm a scrapper. I can deal with it.
Is he from Minnesota?
So
Name that accent.
Yeah. Barney is a gun fu master were-rat for justice. That's who I am.
What do you look like?
Did you roll that?
I kind of did roll that. I utilized our upcoming player's guide character creation thing and ended up this. So I picture Splinter with mild direction towards Joe Pesci.
Hey, I've got to ask how well groomed you are. Like, am I gonna have people complaining about the smell here, or is that under control?
I clean up okay. But I just I've been busy kind of putting stuff away in this warehouse and just collecting things as I find them, and it's all got to go somewhere, right? So I don't know, if something smells, then I probably put it away.
Awesome. Well, as you're sitting around uncomfortably staring at each other, not knowing quite who these new people are, but you've been assigned them, you have to deal with them, waiting for something to come in. Sarah, do you pronounce your character's name Wen?
Correct.
You get a text message.
Oh.
From your old friend and contact, Christian Doyle.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And in classic Christian fashion, it's pretty terse. It's just asking, you still in that group?
I respond, why?
He responds back with the monsters, right? Question mark.
Again, why?
So the rest of you notice that she's kind of furiously texting away and ignoring your very important business of staring at each other uncomfortably.
Yeah,
That's
I
not
don't do
unusual for
uncomfortable. I'm done with that now.
I also get my phone out and I act like I'm texting somebody too.
He messages you that there was a mistake on the Journey Quest call sheet.
Oh.
The ADs meant to call for harpists, and due to a typo, they called for harpies.
Sweet.
You want to respond to that?
I'm going to say, last time I helped you, you never paid me.
He sends back a picture of a heart and a picture of an eggplant.
That's mysterious. All right. So I turn to the group and I say, lucky for you newbies, we have a couple of harpies that have been set loose. And we get to go take care of them.
What the frick is a harpy?
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, I've been in the van actually with my feet up drinking, and I put my flask away and I say, "Thank God, some action. Let's do this." That's what leaders say, right? Whatever. So, new guys. Well, 2 new people in a van. Let's go. Road trip. Grab your beer. Grab your stuff. We're hitting the road.
Okay. I'm just going to be a couple of minutes. And I start hauling boxes out into the van.
Yeah, you
Listen,
travel
Sally,
like...
we're not taking all that stuff with us.
No, this is really important stuff. You're going to need this.
That
What's
one
in
is
the box?
moving on its own.
What's
We're
in the
not taking it
box?
with.
This
What's
box
in the box?
It's mine.
Look, we know
in
you're a
response-
rat, but do you have to be a pack rat?
Hey, that's racist.
Yeah, that was
species.
pretty racist. Species.
Species.
Well, what color rat is he?
He's brown.
Racist.
All right, Sliver, you can bring 2 boxes.
Two freaking boxes.
2 boxes. Take the most important ones. That's it. Nope.
I'm going to remember this.
Nope. 2.
No. Fine, you and your pretty face and your stupid rules.
Yes.
When your
all
phone
about-
buzzes again,
Oh God.
this time with a photo, and it's coming from Christian, so you may not actually want to view it.
No, I'm gonna open it. Let's give it a go. You only live once.
Okay. Well, you open it up, and there's a tree branch next to the camera, and on that tree branch is a thing about the size of a sparrow. It's kind of out of focus,
Okay.
but it has what looks like a little human head on it, and claws, and ruffled dirty feathers, and it is gnawing on a cable connected to the camera.
Delicious. Is this supposed to be your location? Because it's not terribly helpful.
You get back a message saying geotag that shit.
I'm going to plug my phone into Jimmy.
Fortunately, I am the Fraggin' Wagon. I'm a sweet-ass 1974 Ford Econoline with a fully up-to-date Cipher kit installed, and I live to swerve. So, yeah, I pull up the coordinates, tell everyone to hop in.
Well, everyone
Sweet,
hops
this
into the
bastard
van.
can talk.
In appropriate slow motion with dramatic camera angles.
Obviously.
And a thumping beat, courtesy of, well, I guess it's courtesy of the Fraggin' Wagon, eh?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mess with the radio.
Oh,
I surf until I find Steve Winwood, Higher Love, and I go, classic. This is the one.
Gary holds up a smartphone to Sliver to show him a picture of just exactly what a harpy looks like.
Oh, god damn, those things are ugly.
Yeah.
I would like
Yeah,
to text ahead and find out how many harpies they happened to call.
All right, you text as you're driving. It takes longer for the response to come back this time. Suspiciously long, but as you're starting to get a little bit worried, you finally get a message back, all in lower caps. It says all of them.
Wonderful.
But they're only the size of a canary. How bad it can be, huh?
Well, but if there's a
All
whole
of them.
flock, maybe not super fun. Oh, do I have Bumble with me?
I'm sorry, have what?
I have a winter troll as a pet.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Seems legit to me.
He probably
Melted.
Don't give me
Yeah.
that. He's mine.
yeah, he doesn't travel well.
Fine.
You could
Gary
probably
leans
summon
over
him if
to,
you wanted to.
He very much loves to eat harpies. Just saying. I'll
That's a
have
good.
to bring some back for him.
It's a
You
good
might have
idea.
to you might have to think about a spell to pull him in.
All right.
All right.
Gary
well,
leans over to Isaac as well and just sort of taps him on the shoulder quickly and says, "Have you still got that thing that you shouldn't have that I gave back to you?"
Honestly, I don't remember. But
Just say yes.
I'm going to reach into my jacket, and yeah, it's totally there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are we sure it wasn't confiscated?
I actually don't remember. I don't remember much of that night at all.
It was a little thing about yay big that you rub and some stuff happens.
It was a genie's prayer.
Oh, that, yeah, I got that too.
Good.
Two.
All right. Well, as you resolve these issues, you pull into the parking lot at a disc golf course south of Seattle. It's full of production vehicles, various dorky-looking crew members, people walking around in wizard's robes and elf outfits and things. It looks pretty low rent. And a woman with a headset comes running up to you, waving her hand, saying, "Shh, shh, shh."
Yeah. I'm not going to do that. We were called here to help with a production problem.
She points toward her ear, like she can't hear you.
Okay, I'm going to take her headset.
Oh, are you going to get out of the car? Because, I mean, right now, you're just talking to her through the glass of the window, so.
Oh, no, leaning out the window. Window was
All right.
down. We had those sweet tunes going.
There you go.
So I'm going to lean out. I'm going to grab the headset, and I'm going to go, Christian, I'm here. And I'm going to hand it back.
She looks at you and says, "You think we give the director a walkie ever?"
I'm beginning to see why you're having problems.
And who are you? This is a closed set.
I know. Tell Christian we're here.
Hey.
She shrugs and says, I'm going to go
we're
get
friggin'
Tony.
here to see the friggin' director and your friggin' little birdie problems. We're the exterminators, see?
He's not helpful. Don't listen to him. We found him in the back.
Is that a talking rat?
What? Is
No,
that
we-
in the
I
wiggle
go ahead
road?
and open
What
the
are we gonna
side. I
quibble
try to
about?
open the side of the van,
Oh no! Don't wait. All right, go ahead.
and I go ahead and rat myself out.
We're the special consultants. We've been called in by Christian to consult on some costuming. As you can see here, this gentleman is one of the new rat people that will be included in this season of Journey Quest.
Yeah, didn't you guys get the new pages?
Obviously.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll bring you to Tony.
I'd like to intimidate her. To try and I would say roust some kind of fear of rodents in her, and get her to like just take us directly to Christian. That's what I want to do. So I want to see if I can do that.
All right.
And so that's a create an advantage roll for me. And what you, Ben, is you decide if you just want to do an opposing roll to set what I have to beat, or you can make it a static in increments of 5. So 5 is easy, 10 is moderate.
I think we're looking at a static of 5.
5? Okay. So I'm going to flashily use We're Rat.
Let's see.
So let's see here. So that's a D6 and a D8. And I get a +2 when I flashily create advantage. So I'm going to get a +2 to this roll.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so I'm going to get a +2 to this roll if I succeed. And that is a 5 + 2. So I succeed in creating an advantage of like rat fear.
Rat fear.
Well, that's enough for her. She tears off the headset in disgust and just walks away from set, grumbling about union procedures and how this isn't how it's done.
Okay.
I pop out of the van and I head to the food table.
All right. Well.
So Ben, what that does is it establishes a new truth that she has the heebie-jeebies or rat fear, intimidated by me. I have a D6 that will give me a bonus to a future roll if I can justify using that. Just to
Awesome.
let you know.
Great, thank you.
So her headset's on the ground?
It is.
I'm gonna pick it up and put it on.
Well played.
And I'm gonna say into it, Tony, there's an emergency in the parking lot.
You hear a voice back in your headset saying, "Copy. Deal with it."
There's a man dressed up like a rat, and there's someone eating all of the craft services.
I will stab you.
You'll have
And
to
it's
catch
not
me
even
first.
acting anymore.
All right, well, Cipher, Van, Fraggin' Wagon, can you figure out where the other headset is if I give you this one?
Sure.
Give me a location.
Triangulate that signal.
Triangulate that shit.
So what am I doing?
I need to find where the other headset is so that we can go there. So.
Okay. So, Ben, what am I doing? Am I, would this be a create an advantage? Would this be just an attack against the radio waves?
I think
overcoming maybe.
I think an attack against the radio waves works just fine.
Attack them!
Well,
Seems appropriate.
I will cleverly cipher this shit. Creating information-based advantage, so I get a +2, and roll it. I'm not on my screen. 12, 14.
That's good enough. You're able to give them a direction, pull up a map of the park as well, and realize that they are on the 15th hole.
Lovely.
All right.
It looks like a bit of a hike up a hill.
We could drive
and start
there.
heading that way.
I was about to say, let's just like grab the van and just drive up there. I don't feel like walking.
Problem is, there are a bunch of vehicles parked in your way. You'd have to kind of work your way around them.
Can we use one of them?
Is there a go-kart nearby we can just grab
like
and
a
go?
golf cart?
For the record,
there are no golf.
I am a pretty heavily reinforced van.
Yeah.
I'm going by your avatar. Yeah, you're like an A-team on steroids there.
Keep in mind, this is disc golf. So let me describe the setting for you a little bit. Rather than manicured green lawns, we are talking trees and hills and blackberry bushes and all kinds of unusual obstacles with little walking paths that you might have to go single file on that in no way would make you subject to a future ambush.
How long would it take us to get there walking?
Oh, 5 minutes.
Okay,
Okay, Ben.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to create a, just based on how you established the scene there, we have unusual terrain is an aspect. There's no free dice 6 out there, but it can be tagged by any side if they want to utilize unusual terrain to their advantage.
And you certainly have this here. I should also probably mention that there are the course is still open to the public, so there's always a hazard of one of these hard-ass frisbees hitting you in the back of the head.
Isaac, I think you should go first. You should lead us.
At least it's not a corn dog.
Yet.
I come back from craft services with corn dogs.
Yep,
And
there you go.
I look at all the dirty looks I'm getting from people, and I said, "What? I've grown to like them."
Well played.
Just
okay. So Ben, I'm also going to be creating frisbees and bystanders.
Yep.
As an aspect. Sorry, go ahead.
All right. So you start making your way past the base camp, where some of the crew who's there gives you weird looks, but not too weird. In fact, what you're seeing is that it looks like people are hurriedly loading stuff back onto trucks.
Oh, I look for unattended cables.
All right.
No. Focus. We have a mission. Focus. You can chew on cables later.
There's several rolls of electric distro of like 100-foot extension cables, basically.
I start rolling them up. If they are rolled up, I start like trying to hide them into my coat.
All right. Well, I mean, they basically roll up onto pretty heavy-ass carts. So I
just take a cart.
Okay, you take a cart.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you can just kind of push it ahead of you there.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows when you're going to need electricity in a place with no electricity? I mean, there's an unattended generator too, if you want to grab that.
Gary will happily grab a cart of generator.
There you go.
Assuming it's gassed up, and if it's not, I'll grab another gas can.
And
I keep a slight distance from those two and their electrical thingies.
What could go wrong? This is going to be great.
I see you stepping away, and I
many
go,
things.
good call.
All right. So you make your way into the park, and you very quickly realize that the hole you're going to have to go through is occupied by 5 men in their 20s and 30s, wearing baseball hats, drinking cheap beer, and cracking wise at everything that they see very, very loudly.
My people. I go say hi.
They say, "Hey, bro, dude."
Bro, dude.
Bro, what's up?
Oh my God. I missed you. I've never met you, but I missed you. I've been hanging out with these nerds all day.
Oh, you want a beer?
Hell yeah, throw me a beer.
All right.
It's this one.
They throw you a can of the worst piss beer you've ever seen.
Oh, look, it's Oakwater Ale.
I swallow my pride and crack it open.
There you go. Well, they're happy to make friends with you and say, you bring a disc? You want to borrow one? Join us? You know where?
Dude, I left my disc in my other disc pants. You got a spare?
Sure. They pass
Nice.
one over and point up the hill and add another set of crew members, and beyond them, one of the holes at the disc golf course. So apparently they're going to attempt to throw the discs past the crew members into the hole.
What you're not gonna hit those nerds, right? Unless like you are. I'm into it. Let's hit some nerds.
Well, I mean, nerds are one thing, man, but you know, you want to get the best score possible, and it's just going to add, you know, it's just going to add to your score, and you don't want to do that. I mean, you aim for the hole. If you hit a nerd, I mean, it's what happens, but
Oh, trust me, I've aimed for some holes and hit some nerds. If you know what
you
I'm
got to play to win.
Oh.
And they laugh uproariously, and you hear a shush from farther up the hill saying, "Keep it down! We're shooting!"
Hell
Speaking
yeah!
of shooting,
I abandon the cart and I race up the hill.
God.
All right,
I'm
there
gonna
he
follow
goes
him.
up the hill. You race up the hill in the path of the dude bros who are throwing frisbees. So you're gonna need to make a dodge attempt here for a flying missile coming up behind you.
do I get to roll for my throw?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Okay. I'm aiming at the rat
up
guy.
the hill.
I will quickly use combat and tactics to defend.
Okay, I'm going to use flashy, and I'm going to use social engineering because I'm going to try to hit you in the balls and impress these guys. I rolled a 3 though, so.
Yeah, and I got a 12.
So I go, hey guys, watch this, and as I wind up, I smack myself in the balls. I go, man, imagine if it was his balls, that'd be really funny.
They all laugh and cheer again, and you hear another "Shut up!" from farther up the hill.
I'm gonna follow Rat Boy up
All
the
right.
hill.
So
I do want to check in with the dude bros though. I'm like, hey, on a more serious note, I've had a great time with you gentlemen. You haven't seen any like this is gonna sound weird, but like bird people?
oh, like on the with the jerks at the movie set up the hill.
Yeah, or you know, flying around terrorizing children, anywhere really. Like any bird people you've seen. What's up?
I mean, you know, there was this flock of things earlier, but they sped off, and you know, we just figured we'll stay away from that hole. It's all good.
Oh, what hole was that? I mean,
Oh, the fifth.
The fifth hole.
You don't play the fifth hole.
I do.
Is that a sex thing? No, you beat me to it.
It is now.
So I thank them for their time.
Dude, dude.
Dude.
You want another beer for the road, man?
Yeah, literally for the road. Let's do it.
All right.
You bet for driving back. Yeah, so I turn around and where's the rest of my team at this point?
They're
I
on their way
followed-
up the hill.
Yeah, we're up the hill.
I hung out to give you a ride up.
Wait,
Thanks, Van.
wait a
That's
minute.
golf cart.
Gary picked up the cable that the new newbie dropped and put it on top of the generator, so he kind of looks like one of the crew.
Okay.
Move.
I'm gonna hop in the van and crack that beer and go where it takes me.
All right. Well, Jimmy, you're gonna work on driving up that hill. It's not really made for vehicles, but you know, there's kind of a dip with the path in the middle, so if you kind of have your your wheels on each side, and
You put enough power behind it, and everything's made for vehicles.
yeah, you could probably drive over a midget with how far you are off the ground with your wheels on each side there. But
is that a possibility? Are there midgets around?
Not yet.
All right.
Not yet.
So,
do we have an equivalent of
want this to be a roll?
What?
If you want this to be a roll, it would be an overcome roll that Jimmy would need to take, and then you would probably set a number.
Yeah. I think it's appropriate, and I think it's a 10.
All right.
Sounds fair.
Well, I'm gonna quickly Cipher van this shit. Oh, wait. And just to give myself a little bump, I'm going to tag my road rage simulation activated. And that is a 15.
So that is a success with style, which means that he gets 2 dice 6 as a boost. I think that's how that works. But yeah, go ahead.
Perfect. All right. Well, there's nothing quite like the sight of a vehicle using the hills on each side to kind of burst through the underbrush and work its way up the switchbacks on the trail here. You hear shouts of dismay as you run over the frisbee golf hole that those dude bros were aiming for and knock it over. But man, it was in the way. It's what you do. The Rat and Win are ahead of you, and so you're the first ones around the corner to see the movie set. Let's see. I think your timing's probably just enough to see a familiar figure dressed all in yellow robes for some reason. So when you see Christian Doyle being lifted into the sky by an entire swarm of pygmy harpies, flapping away into the distance with him shouting and screaming.
So just point of rules clarification, that since that was an overcome roll, you succeeded with style, you get a boost, which is a short-term aspect with 1 free invocation on it. So we just need to define what that aspect is, and you get a short-term, it goes away after you use it.
All right.
So what do you want to call it?
I called it Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift. Aha.
So, is the Fraggin' Wagon there?
It's going to be there shortly. You're ahead of it. But you can hear it coming up behind
Watch
you.
out.
And Wen and I can see
high enough that if I were to get on top of the Fraggin' Wagon and Tokyo Drift, that I could grab onto him?
You are certainly welcome to try. He's about 15 feet up right now.
That seems...
So he's not above the tree line yet. So it's at the top of a hill. They're surrounded by trees. There's a lot of crew. You might have more luck with a tree than you will with the Fraggin' Wagon.
If you're a succubus, you probably got a pretty good leap.
I do.
There's also a guy in a headset waving a switchblade at the harpies very angrily.
Yes, I'm sure he is. Could I use him as a launch, Angry Switchblade Man?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, would you say that this is a physical obstacle?
Yes.
Wonderful. Because because I'm double jointed, I get a +2 when I'm trying to overcome a physical obstacle. And I probably want to be a little sneaky about it. I don't want to be flashy because I don't want Switchblade Man to turn around and try to stab me. So I'm going to zip up and try to leap off of Switchblade Man, grab onto Christian, drag him.
All right.
That seem reasonable?
Yeah. So Don, how would we handle this within the rules of the Demon Hunters world?
Okay. So explain to me step by step. Sort of recap what you want to do there.
I want to run up toward where the action is happening and jump off of Tony, because I'm assuming it's Tony. And jump off of Tony and use him as like a springboard to jump up and grab onto Christian to drag him down.
It's sort of like
That's
an
awesome.
AFL mark.
I would pay money to see that. Okay.
So Don, before you break it down, keep in mind that there's also the hazard of Christian may reflexively attempt to slash at her with the switchblade.
Now Christian has.
I'm sorry, Tony may. Sorry, Tony has a switchblade.
That's why I'm being sneaky about it.
Yeah. So she's gonna jump off the guy who's waving a knife around in the air.
You know what? It's gonna work.
Okay, so this is what I would say. You could do this. You're gonna have to do it in a way that he doesn't know that you're coming.
Right.
Which I think you can do.
Yep.
I would call it a 15.
Okay.
And it is an overcome roll.
Wonderful. All right, so I am going to roll and add to. Gonna add a demon dice.
And if you fail, I say that Tony gets a attack at you.
I'm gonna roll a demon dice with it. And that gives me a 16.
Wow.
Okay. So how many demon dice did you use?
Just one.
Just one. Okay, so Ben, you add 1 die to your pool.
Okay.
Okay,
Excellent.
so she succeeds. She has successfully grabbed on to Christian. Tony never saw it coming.
He didn't.
He probably gets kicked in the back while and jutted forward a little bit while she leaps off his back and grabs onto Christian.
It's very heroic.
Well, the good news is you grabbed onto him. The bad news is this is a full harpy swarm. You know, they're kind of like starlings, you know, buzzing around in the sky like this, and they move as one, and it's going to take more than a succubus grabbing a fake wizard to keep them off their track. So, based on my roll just now, you two are now both ascending rapidly into the sky.
But I'm
right,
holding on to him. Are they holding on to me, or am I just holding on to him?
You're holding on to him, and now what's happening is little harpies all over are landing on you and grabbing at you with their talons and flapping their little wings. So you probably have a good 50 of them glommed onto you already.
All right. I'm going to leap into action here and pull out 2 live pistols.
Oh, Christ.
Because I am a gun-fu were-rat for justice. So I am going to target many harpies. So I'm assuming the harpies might be treated at this point as a mob.
Or a swarm.
Or a swarm, yeah. So I want to be targeting that. And so I'm going to do a tactics.
Cutting out, Don.
Tag. What?
You're cutting out.
Sorry. All right. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend an action or a faith die to tag Gun Fu Master Weir Rat for Justice, because I want my folks coming down to earth, and I think I'll just roll that.
All right.
I may add some demon dice if I need to.
Now you're going to be facing.
What's that?
Can you use rat fear?
Something about a rat?
Yeah, can you use the rat fear D6? Because something about a rat shooting at a bunch of harpies might freak him out.
But I have...
You'd think birds would be afraid of rats. Just saying.
Especially gun-toting ones.
Yeah. Well, I didn't invoke the rat fear on them though. Is the thing. So I wouldn't say that I'd get to use that D6.
We've been flexible with it in the past.
Well, whatever. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I don't want to spend all my faith dice in one shot, but I do want this to be pretty damn flashy, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And so that is a 14. I do want to spend 2 demon dice.
Whoa.
Whoa.
For another 10.
Worked out
So
What?
you get 2 more demon dice, Ben, in your
Okay.
pool, and
Excellent.
I get a 24.
Wow.
All right. You are still going to be facing a complication because the moment guns appear on set, the grip and electric department is going to come after you.
Oh yeah, I don't really care about that right now. I'm a gun fu master. We're rat for justice. So
All right. So you've come up with a 24, and how many shots? How many shots are you going to fire off here?
lots of them.
What's your limit?
Whatever. 24.
24?
Does not matter.
All right. Well, you're going to get a good 5 shots off before you have to start dealing with grip and electric coming after you.
Okay.
Good news is it's a swarm of these things, so each shot hits several. The bad news is there are at least hundreds of them.
Yeah.
And they're all shouting obscenities at all of you. And they stink.
I am too.
Okay, I have a question.
So they begin to use their flitting skill, and what you quickly realize is that anytime a bullet goes through a certain area of them, they then start to flit your 2, Christian and Wen, into the direction of where that bullet was to put them in the line of fire for the next one.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
There's a question.
Honeycut.
Oh yeah, sorry. So my character, he has like a spell book that he inherited from his father. It's kind of like a Gravity Falls kind of situation where there's a bunch of like bestiary entries and like spells and things like that. And I've been using it to just kind of miscellaneously pretty much pull whatever I need out of my ass. Are there any changes to that in the new edition? Like, is there like a magic system that I need to read up on?
So basically, you can do whatever you want with magic that you could do with any kind of equipment. You know, so you could do a fireball if you could throw a grenade. You could do a gunshot, and it's like magic missile, or so anything you could do at equipment, you could just use your magic skill
On the fly.
as you can do it. If you want to do something like truly crazy, like reality bending, summon the van on top of the harpies or whatever you want to do, that would be on the ritual side of things, and yeah.
Okay.
Takes time.
Yeah, because my first thought was I was going to try to increase their weight so that they would fall slowly, but that would be reality bending.
It would be, but it might not be all that difficult.
Could have an accelerated case of them being force-fed pudding. They'll just feel very bloated for the next day or so.
True, yeah. I'm going to cast pudding on Wen.
That's a different game,
Thank
and it's
you.
$25 an
Thank
hour.
It's been a pleasure. I'm going to end on a high note. And
All right. So are you seriously casting pudding on her?
I would like to make them both heavier,
Okay.
so that they are pulled down by physics.
Oh, I see. You want to do them to be heavier.
Yeah, I wanted
So
to
the
like.
craft services table is about to be empty.
And another 15. It's immediate. Or how long do you want it to last? Less than just a few minutes?
Just long enough for them to like just hit the ground and break free of the birds.
Okay.
Not hit the ground, but make quick contact with the ground.
Yeah. And Ben, for your reference, I'm looking at page 149, and I would say that this would be probably around a 15, potentially a 20 up to bad.
Okay. I'm going to go for it.
Yeah, it sounds like a 15 to me, based on the table on 149.
All right, so I'm going to use... can I use flashy if I intend to say something funny when I do it?
You can use whatever you want if you can justify
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to use flashy because that's more my D10 is. And then Mystic Arts D10. And,
Seems very you.
thanks. And then I'm going to throw in, you have no idea the cosmic horrors I've read about just to activate my book. So I'm going to use one of my faith dice there. And I think that'll be it. I might have to throw some demon dice in here to make this work. Anyway, so I get the book out and I flip to the page.
Something that you can also do as a mystic is if you choose to take a condition to sacrifice part of yourself, you can get an extra die.
Yep.
Oh, interesting. I'll do that next time. Let me just roll this and see what happens. Because if I fail, we'll get to go into the failure mechanic.
Yay.
Magic. Okay, so anyway, I whip out my book.
Well, before your roll, now demon dice, can I use that to increase the chance of his failure? When do I do those?
You can. So demon dice, you can use those. So you know how we've been tagging our aspects?
Mm-hmm.
You don't get faith dice. You have demon dice. So when it's the time for the harpies to be able to tag their aspects, you would use demon dice to do those.
Okay.
Additionally, you could just grab a few of them and decide that you want to make life hard for them, or I usually reserve that when they roll a 1 or something goes bad, or if I'm bored.
You just randomly
also
roll on the
use
general
the,
madness table.
Well, there's the Mystic Badness on 162.
Yeah.
Right. 162 might be fun.
Oh, can Mystic Badness be my new nickname?
We'll find out at the end of your roll.
We're going to earn it. Okay, so I whip out my book, and I flip to the page for increased weight. And as I aim the spell at Wen, I go, I was expecting you to do this after we got married.
Wow.
I rolled a 14, so I'm going to throw a demon dice on there just to default get it over 15.
I'll take it.
And I rolled a 1.
Oh! Now we get to find out!
Awesome.
It's been fun, everybody.
Now, is there a table for this, or do I just get to be creative here?
Creative.
Either way, but I would definitely be spending some demon dice. Let's see here. What is that Mystic Badness table again?
Page 162.
162.
And yes, Ben, I am doing it off memory. You don't have to bring it up.
So this is page 162.
Yeah, it's not.
It's
162.
152.
Okay. Well,
152. 152.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, Mystic Badness. Let's see.
And that, what do you roll on that? A D20?
No, you grab some demon dice, however many you want to try, and
excellent.
And then when you roll them, then they're spent.
I'm doing this for you guys. I'm taking up some demon dice.
All right. Well, that comes up to an 8.
Okay, that's ouch. So you could have the spell backfire on him. You could. He technically. The spell goes off successfully, technically, by the rules. So he just could gain 300 pounds just now. It's up to you.
Oh no, my love of corn dogs.
Yeah, Ben, another thing that you could do is just give Honeycut straight conditions, which are aspects.
Well, I think this is a case where it does exactly what you were expecting. But instead of targeting the harpies, you managed to target the corn dogs that you ate.
Oh, God.
Appropriate.
So you're going to be dealing with that until you manage to vacate them.
All right.
Okay, so
won't
that
be
would
soon.
translate to conditions. It sounds to me that might be a moderate condition.
Well, it's about 300 pounds of corn dogs right now, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's call that a moderate condition of corn dogged.
Corn dog. All right.
Yep.
Can that be in the next edition?
Oh, we have a
We
precedent.
can add it
for
to the
corn
player's
dogged
guide.
character.
Okay, so at this point, where is Gwen and this random yellow wizard thing? Like, how high are they?
They are now approaching the tops of the trees, so they're
Okay.
at least 50 feet up.
Okay, I'm going
it's quick.
to use one of my stunts,
Mm-hmm.
which is because I was blessed by a fey creature. Once per game session, I can turn into a Black Panther.
Aha.
Cool.
And so, since I am now a
Quite the
giant
power.
cat, yeah, I'm going to try to run ahead of where these harpies are going, climb up a tree, and try to grab Gwen.
All right. This is your last effort to get them before they're way too high up. So
Yeah.
good luck.
Okay.
Okay,
I
what
believe
dice
in
do I
you.
use?
The big ones.
So I would use an approach die, correct?
An approach and a discipline die.
Discipline. Okay, so
Plus any aspects you want to tag.
Plus any demon dice you would like to give Mr. Dobyns.
Those come later.
I might have to add some.
Stop
I
helping him.
I only
Demon
used
dice come
2
later.
dice for that last roll, so I have plenty left.
So for that to really get up the tree and get to him, would I use the quick aspect?
Probably quick or forceful.
Well, they're both the D6, so it doesn't really matter. And then I guess combat and tactics for that.
For
For
what it's
the,
worth, you're doing it as a panther. That seems pretty flashy.
It
Yeah.
does seem pretty
That helps
flashy.
you.
Oh wait, that's right.
No, I think that's
Cast
if
and
you
crew
do it as a
having
sex
flashbacks.
panther.
Okay, that's right. I for the panther, I created a separate list of aspects because the strengths would be different for her.
Sure.
So forceful is actually a D10, which is
Better.
where'd my D10? That one's a D8. That one's
Whilst you're
12.
working that out, someone's just posted in the Q&A, does Don know today is World Rat Day?
Do not. But
Thank you,
I
Sally.
enjoy these strange coincidences.
And the disciplines are different too, and I have one called Pounce, which is a D10 as well, actually.
Ooh,
So 2d10 is good?
like that.
Unless you roll a 14.
Well, let's see. I rolled a 14. So I'm going to add a demon die to that.
That's right. Give me more. I'll take it.
And I rolled a 2, so that's 16.
Okay.
Well, I think that's enough for an extremely dramatic move that probably even... Yeah, so you have a choice. You have the ability to pounce one of the two of them out of the air, but not both.
Oh. Well, since the way it sounded, Gwen's probably like below the yellow wizard creature. I'll probably try to grab her.
All right. Well, you do kind of launch yourself cat-like from the top of a tree, manage to rescue her, and as long as you don't get too injured hitting the ground, I think the two of you will be all right.
Sweet.
The sad effect of that is, as soon as her weight is off, you can just see Christian shooting away into the sky in the middle of the swarm, which moves off into the distance, and that's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, I got one of them. Are you okay, Gwen? I mean,
I'm
that was
good.
a
I
bit of
feel
a fall.
good. He was kind of annoying anyway.
Meanwhile, Dawn, your character is being tackled by the burly men and women in Grip and Electric, who are very upset about your guns.
I'm totally kung fuing my way out of that.
How are you gonna do that?
Well, I'm going to defend.
Okay.
And so I will. Let's see here. Yeah. I think I'm very quick and sneaky, so I'm combat and tactics and quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm realizing that they're not monsters, so I probably don't want to shoot them.
No.
And so I'm just going to defend kung fu style.
All right.
All of their trying to neutralize them, trying to not take any damage, and I get a 10.
Well, that's enough to take one of them down, and he's out.
I'm not attacking.
Oh, okay, but just hold one of them off.
Yeah.
The other one is attempting to grapple you. And then you hear a loud commanding voice saying, "Everybody, stop right now!" And if there were a saving throw associated with that, this would be the time to make it. There's some mystic evil power behind that voice.
I stop.
Yeah. I'll stop. I just
Sounds
fell on a
very.
panther. I'm gonna stop moving.
I
Don't know when to stop.
That's actually a stunt I'm making up right now for the next step. Thank you, Jimmy. That's amazing.
Don't know when to
stop. That'll be. I'm gonna develop that later. Now, some would disagree with what I'm about to say here, but it'll work out in a weird kind of way. I have a stunt called "Because I'm the Epitome of Style, I get a +2 when I flashily defend against an attack with unconventional means. I want to defend against hearing this because I'm too busy farting out corn dogs."
Meanwhile,
So stylish.
I'd like to say that I'm sorry about that, but I'm not.
No regrets. I do it for the show. It's show first, game second.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. And I'm going to use flashy because I have my pants down and I am flashing anyone who can see it.
Oh, dear God.
it's a full moon, but it's still daylight.
I am inside the van, though, to be fair. It's not, I'm in the back.
Sorry, Jimmy.
I think on the way back, I'll probably
Turn
ride on
the
top of the
AC
van.
off of recirculate.
If you stay as a panther, can I ride you home instead?
I don't know what.
Maybe.
I don't know what discipline to use.
You have no discipline.
Fair enough.
Unassigned,
perhaps.
perhaps.
Social engineering.
Maybe mystic arts. Maybe I'm trying to remove them from myself. Actually, you know what? No, wait, I can't make a recovery action while I'm defending. Yeah, let's just do flashy and social engineering because I am affecting what people think about me.
Uh-huh.
There are many dislikes on this Facebook post.
They invented the feature just for me.
Candid dailies from the JQ3 set.
All right, I rolled a 10.
I'll give it to you.
Oh, you gave it to me.
Oh, based on a 10? Yeah, sure, why not?
Did you say it's a demonic presence? Behind
It's,
this?
There's definitely an evil presence there, an evil commanding presence that somehow serves the cause of good, but evilly. It's a little confusing.
Okay.
Does it sound mysteriously like a voice from a low-budget comedy horror film that might have the initials DH of a guy face painted red and black?
No, it sounds like Tony Becerra because it's Tony Becerra.
Ah, Beceratops. Cool.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, because if it was demonic, I'm a succubus, so I was wondering if that would not affect me in the same way. Because I'm a demon.
I'm just choosing to stop.
Yeah.
Because that was pretty authoritarian, and hey, you know.
Well, you do stop, and gives you the opportunity to witness a very angry Tony rant about you interfering with his set, and he's basically saying, are you folks responsible for these things?
I feel like I think I should invoke my trouble aspect, which is I think the answer is in your pants.
I'm just sitting there licking my paws.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to do the same. I'd like to try to diffuse the situation with my pheromones.
All right, he just looks at you like you're nuts.
No, but I get to roll with that.
Okay, you can try. You can try.
All right.
He's now ranting about how SAG is going to send out an enforcer.
I know he is. They're really going to send
And
out
about how you do not want to deal with Screen Actors Guild enforcer. You realize he didn't sign out before he left set? You
I
realize
got a
what happened?
17.
He didn't sign out. Also, I lost an actor, but he didn't sign out before I lost him.
Priorities.
So, so she got a 17
Okay.
on basically a create an advantage. Or are you essentially attacking him with pheromones?
Like more of an attack.
I guess it could be an attack.
They are kind of forceful.
Yeah, because that would cause a psychoerotic condition.
It would indeed.
Okay, so I guess that's an attack, right?
Yeah.
17. So Tony would need to defend against a 17. And Tony would use an approach and a discipline, and he might spend a demon die to invoke one of his aspects.
Okay.
Or two.
Stop helping.
Well, it actually is not going to be enough. He's unable to defend. But the thing you've got to understand about Tony is when Tony expresses love through hate. So at this point, he's
now he's angry and horny, is what you're telling me.
I'm telling you, he is now directing all of his abuse directly at you, and the intensity of it has doubled.
Wow.
We got 50 Shades of Becerra over here. Holy shit.
Okay, so Becerra, if he lost by more than 5, he would take 2 conditions or a moderate.
No, he lost by 2.
With 2? Okay, so he gets a condition, and that's a kind of aspect, and you might call him, like, horny pissed, or fixated on when.
Sexually frustrated.
Or whatever it is, but it's a temporary aspect for the rest of the scene that unless he spends some time to deal with it, he's affected by that.
No, he's just continuing to insult you, and at this point now he's insulting your parentage and your professionalism.
I start growling
He
at
must
him.
be super into you.
He
Oh, you growl. He pulls out a switchblade again and just shakes it in your face with.
I
with
just
a big smile.
swipe at it with my claws.
Oh, he loves that.
So while you pipe
This is
heads
so
have been
uncomfortable.
impotently screaming at each other, I've been doing some research. And
Thank
I've decided to hack the Kickstarter database and get myself a red card.
Yes.
Okay. I'll buy it.
So,
Does he need to roll for that, or since he's a Cipher, can he just do that?
I think he's a Cipher. It's not like it's that protected. Go for it.
all right. Well, then I am red carding this guy.
All right.
Oh dear.
Now, are you able to speak, or how are you going to do this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He's like Kit.
So you red card him. He looks over at the red card in disbelief, shakes his head in sorrow, and walks off. And you get to replace anybody who's present into his role as Tony Becerra.
All right. So who we have around?
Okay.
Besides
You
the team.
have a couple cast members left. You have a Nara, and you have a Caro, played by Brian Lewis. You have sound, camera operator plus 2 assistants, wardrobe, makeup. You know, there's a full crew here.
Grip and electric people.
Yeah, although they're still kind of Grip and Electric is still trying to deal with the rat
I
issue.
think that zombie-looking guy looks like he'd be pretty reasonable to work with. So let's pull him in.
All right. So you pull him in, give him Tony's switchblade, and he looks around with his magnificent jaw. He says, "I'm sorry. Was this not in the script? I thought because I don't remember this. I don't remember this scene. But oh wait, I'm
Gary
Tony.
will step forward. Mr. Vansel had some rewrites, sir. They were back in the Winnebago that's being used for makeup. You didn't get a chance to read them. That's why we had Perf flying off with the harpies. That's why there's the extra camera over there.
Yeah, you have a big monologue.
What?
Huge
I
monologue.
need like 2
It's
weeks
like-
to. You can't
like
spring
2
that on me.
pages
I'm an
long.
actor.
Yes, sir. We recognise that.
Emotional
You're-
depth.
yeah.
Good.
All right, everyone, take a break. We'll come back when I memorize this.
Yeah, you're supposed to have a scene with Paige Bennett shortly, sir.
Okay.
And
I'll be in my
Yeah.
trailer. Break. So he and the other actors scatter. The crew kind of looks around at each other. They look off at Tony sitting on the sidelines, mute and fuming. And finally, one of the grips looks at you and says, "Well, if that's the day, we got some beer back on the truck." And they all head off.
Brian
Hey,
gets back to his Winnebago and finds me in the bathroom.
Are there any other harpies? Have we surrendered Christian to the harpies entirely? Are there any
You have the entire swarm and Christian are gone, aside from the massive amount of droppings that they left.
Ooh,
okay.
I can track that. As a panther,
Mm-hmm.
I can start sniffing and seeing if I can follow to wherever their nest is.
I'm gonna hop on her back.
All right. Anyone else wanna follow them out as they track
before
the
we-
harpy droppings?
I
Before
don't
we
really
take
want
off-
to be here when Tony gets off break, so
Before we take off, I need some help with my condition.
Yep.
I need someone to hit me really hard.
Gary has a
Okay.
better idea. He makes a truckie's knot in the electric cable that he has, ties it around your waist, uses a tree for leverage, and just starts pulling to condense your waist down. Kind of like a corset for the abdomen.
Aww.
this has got to create some kind of condition,
Yeah.
if not an aspect.
Well, let me reference the rules here. Okay, recovering from conditions. Moderate conditions go away at the end of a mission once the recovery action succeeds. Oh, so I'm going to be corn dogged all night.
Yep.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'll just my recovery action will be repeated trips to the toilet.
In the
Yeah,
woods.
I get out of the Winnebago and hobble back over like, hey guys, where are we at? What's up?
Well, those
Well,
things
we've
are.
lost the guy that called us in.
That's shitty.
So,
So this
My box.
Which box? The one on the left or the one on the right?
I dive into the van and go for my box, and I open it up and look through it, and I would like to roll to create an advantage to pull something out of my box. This is going to be flashy and combat and tactics, because I thought to put this away. And what the hell? I think I'll... Oh, but I'm creating an advantage. That's kind of dumb. I'm going to try it. Then I would like to pull a flamethrower out of my box. So
Seems
you
legit.
need to decide how difficult it is to pull a flamethrower out. That I would have had that previously.
Given who your character is, it's probably no more difficult than a 10.
Okay. And I get an 11.
Sweet.
Okay.
Flamethrower.
So I have a flamethrower with a D6 on it. I get to use that for free. And I can recharge that flamethrower now in the future if I decide to want to get extra dice on it. And other people could also, now that there is a flamethrower in we now have a we have a flamethrower. So now we have a flamethrower.
So
Amazing.
just to pre-charge that, I'd like to siphon off a gallon.
Cool.
Toss an extra D6 on there.
You use premium, right?
Sure. I don't know what the hell I'd roll for that.
Sounds like Cipher Van's going to be involved.
Definitely.
Carefully research and development. You
Cipher Man.
utilize your fuel as
Yeah, we
as
were
I'm a
like
sneakily do it.
mechanics could be R&D, so I could see that.
Well, I mean, I'm a van, so I'm just going to use that because it's higher.
Oh, right, yeah.
But,
You might want to do it carefully.
Yeah.
I might not.
flashily research and development. It just arcs
I'm going
up
to
and over.
sneakily do it because I'm siphoning off my own gas sneakily. Oh, that was only a 3. I might be on fire.
Well, you could choose to re-roll that one.
That is true. That was the 10. So yeah, let's re-roll that guy. So 12 instead.
Much better.
Better.
And
So Ben, anytime a person rolls a 1 on their approach or their discipline die, they can choose to basically gain a faith die, and they can immediately spend it to re-roll it. You get a demon die, so you just got a demon die
Excellent.
on that re-roll.
Good. I'm getting so many of them.
I know.
Which will be totally not lethal.
Whilst that's all been going on, Gary's going to have quickly researched Screen Actors Guild Enforcers and is going to create an advantage using his I remember this one time, and he's actually going to remember this one time he ranted at the National Guard to make it sound like that he was more qualified and more authoritative than he was supposed to be, and make out that he's a Screen Actors Guild inspector who is here to assess what the hell is going on and why have you lost an actor.
Gary is going to pretend to be this guy.
Yep. And he's going to create an information-based advantage for the group to use when they're trying to deal with people.
All right. Fantastic.
So that will be carefully social engineering and because it's one of my stunts, I remember this one time, I gain +2 when I carefully create information-based advantages for myself in chapter.
And is this a roll that you need to make, or is it just?
Yeah,
something
it is
that
a
you
roll.
can agree?
It is a
Okay.
roll.
So we need a different.
So rolling that, I get a grand total of 12.
I think that means when you're dealing with people who have not dealt with Screen Actors Guild Enforcers before, you're going to be just fine.
Yep.
If they've dealt with the Enforcers before, they might doubt that you're scary enough.
Okay.
So in game terms, if they don't know anything about the Enforcers, you get the die.
Yep.
If they do, you probably don't get the die.
Yep.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, here you are. Now, the direct path of the Harpies goes through deep forest. There's no way you're getting a car through that. But it is trackable. Becerra is going to be off the sidelines shortly, and you can imagine that there's going to be a huge explosion when he's back in.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You can see him glowering at all of you.
if the Panther wants to scout on ahead and send me a location, I can haul Bullock along with me, because I don't think if the car can't go through there right now, I don't think we're getting him through either.
Yeah. But I'll have to tell you, because as a Panther, I can only like growl and paw at people. But okay, so we start
Take
heading.
someone with you.
I speak that.
Yeah. Sarah's riding me, so we
Yeah, I
start
am.
heading out into the woods.
Okay, so we're splitting the party, just to be clear.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm taking the long way.
All right. And who's going with you, Jimmy?
At least the fat guy.
Rat, are you coming with me?
Yeah.
Gary,
Yeah, totally
Gary's
go.
going to follow them, the rat team.
Okay.
It's a cooler
No
team.
problem.
Like it's,
We got this. We got this.
And you're bringing your flamethrower, right?
Yeah, of course. Why
All
would
right.
I?
And how are you
Yeah,
going to stay in touch with the car team?
Headset?
Open mobile phone link.
Oh, there you go. I mean, you could steal Becerra's headset. He's out for another 30 seconds. If you move fast, it's...
No, we still have one. I still have one.
You still
And I
have
have
one,
Cipher.
but you need another.
Yeah.
Right, but can it? It was like plugged into the van. Couldn't he have?
Gary says to Isaac, grab that.
No.
no, I couldn't.
Can't bend over.
No, that angry-looking guy looks like he would just destroy me right now. So I am not having that.
All right. So open phone link to the Fraggin' Wagon.
All right. Well, Fraggin' Wagon makes its way back down the hill, where the entire production is in disarray. So much for Journey Quest 3, but you're Demon Hunters, so who cares?
Hey, I backed
And-
that. I've got a Blu-ray.
I gotta say, I have more investment in Demon Hunters than Journey Quest. So yeah.
And you know, the thing about this Harpy Trail is it's really easy to follow. Occasionally, amongst the droppings, you'll find like the carcass of a deer or something that's been picked totally clean when the mob stopped to feed, the swarm stopped to feed.
I grab one of a loose bone and just carry it in my mouth and keep going.
Okay.
Might be
So we are finding out that they haven't scarfed the guy in yellow yet, though.
That we
Not as
know
far
of.
as you can tell. You're finding the bones of cute woodland creatures, but nothing human yet. It's almost like they want him for something different.
They need references for their acting sizzle reel.
So you eventually track them to a building in Georgetown in Seattle, rising in the distance, the abandoned steam plant. And there are clouds of them flying around outside, but that's clearly where they've taken up and roosted.
All right, I send that information back to the Shaggin' Wagon.
We are stopped at the gas station where Bullock has gone and carried out a key on attached to a hubcap. He's gonna be a little bit.
Okay.
I
Now,
stop
the
at like the edge of the woods,
Okay.
so we're not in the so they can't see us. Hopefully.
Well, at this point, you're out of the woods and you're kind of in light industrial near
Okay.
Boeing Airfield. You can hang out in an alley or something.
Yeah. Try to keep our distance.
There's a actually just across the street from there is one of those bikini barista coffee shops.
Oh, heck yeah. I'm getting a coffee.
All right.
Gary suggests you leave the flamethrower with him on the cart.
Did you say bikini? I'm also getting a coffee.
Yeah.
All right.
So
you
Gary's
two
out the
approach,
front with the panther.
You two approach the coffee shack where a bored-looking woman in a bikini and a massive amount of makeup asks you what you want.
Yes.
What she said.
So, what? Americano?
Yeah, it's a free country.
How many shots?
All of them.
All of them. And I pull out a bunch of guns.
All right, okay. Fine, I get the idea.
Two?
So what
leave
you're
that-
You're just showing them off at this point?
No.
Don't do that.
I put him back.
All right, so 2 Americanos with all of the shots. Sorry, what was that?
I was just wondering where he keeps all of it. It's fine.
Keeps all of what?
The guns.
He's borrowed Silent Jim's trench coat.
Ah.
Picked it up accidentally at the last mixer.
So she looks over at Wynn, a little more friendly than to the other guy, and says, "No, we're not getting much business these days. What with She kind of points.
The rat guy behind me? I know, right? Cramping my stomach.
No, she points over his shoulder. No,
Oh.
the stuff at the steam plant.
What's the stuff at the steam plant?
Well, the city inspectors say it's of sparrows, but we're finding skeletons. Dogs and cats are disappearing.
And that's bad.
And get this.
Yeah.
Get this.
Okay.
I have 3 friends who are in the acting business in town, and they tell me that actors are disappearing.
Interesting. Are they good actors?
Well, I don't know. I don't go to plays.
And when did this start happening?
It's been building up over the last few months. It really quieted down a few days ago, and then the swarm came back today, just with increased activity in a major way.
Yeah.
All right, here's your Americano. 12 shots, thimble full of water.
Wonderful. Thanks.
1 for the rat dude.
Yeah. I'm going to give them both to the rat dude.
You're going to get him out of here before that takes effect, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else about across the street that you feel like sharing with me?
It's bad for business.
Sure. All right. Any weird noises? Like, do you hear any screaming or just asking for a friend?
If anything, maybe the sound of crying late at night.
Crying. What? Why are you here late at night?
When else are truckers gonna get coffee? The overnight crowd pays buku bucks.
Ah, yes. Did not realize this was a 24-hour place. I will be back later. And then I leave.
Okay. And this is probably enough time for the Fraggin' Wagon to navigate their way and be able to show up as well and reunite the party. No worse for wear. Other than the smell. Anyone with sensitive nostrils does not want to be in this van.
I'm not going in the van. All right, so Makeup Bikini Lady told me that actors and dogs and cats are disappearing, and they're crying late at night. Oh, and I gave the rat 24 shots of espresso.
Maybe we should have given that to Isaac and help him flush.
It's true. Isaac wasn't here. Somebody needed to drink.
Am I going to be the butt of every joke?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you will be the butt of every joke.
As a panther, I just palm my head at the hyperactive rat now.
Let's go shoot some harpies.
They're all
I
across
looked
the
to the
street.
Fragon Wagon.
Over there.
Are you able to access city building plans? Maybe see what the layout of that place is?
I don't see why not.
Well, what you're going to discover as you attempt to hack into the city plans is that there are plenty of records about this place, but every time you attempt to find a layout, it says see physical archives, because it was built over 100 years ago. Apparently, the plans have not been digitized.
Okay.
I see why not.
No, you are able to pick up that it was put out of commission over 50 years ago. It's operated by the city, kind of as a historical location, but they haven't allowed anyone in over 2 years.
Okay.
How close can I get to the building without getting too close to be seen? Are they like flocking around the building, or are they like inside now?
What you'll see is that sometimes a swarm of them will come out through broken windows near the top and circle the building, and then they'll go back in. The building's right by the edge of Boeing Airfield, which means that there's not really there's no approach that has cover. It's parking lots on one side and an airfield on the other, so lots of flat ground with a big, boxy, multi-story white building in the center.
So what's
Are
the
there
play,
any-
boss? Do we just go in guns a-blazing?
Hmm.
Are there any like bushes, or is it just flat and no real
There's
like
going to be a
leaf?
burning bush here in a minute.
Yeah, there's some bushes on the south end. You can also see that the bushes are on the same end as a big loading door up on the second story with one of those hooks and rails that extends out to allow things, like a pulley system to lift things up.
Okay, I want to try and use the bushes to help me sneak up close and see if I can really.
Yeah. I mean, the bushes are against the building, but beyond that, there's yeah.
So I have to go through open cover to get to the bushes. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And it is starting to get dark, so that's something.
Yeah.
My instincts are telling me to crash a plane into it from the airfield, but maybe that's not the best idea.
That is the other fun thing about where you are, is that planes are zooming so close overhead, and each time that the planes do come in, you can observe that the swarm ducks back into the windows like they don't like the noise. So whenever there's a plane approaching, it's coming close enough and rattling things up enough that you might have a window where you could run up where the swarm is hiding.
I'd like to reroute, take over air traffic control, reroute a couple planes to give the Panther a nice window of cover.
All right. Rerouting air traffic control is going to be take a little more skill, but go for it.
One would hope.
I got an idea.
Yeah,
I got
I'm
another
going to
idea.
have to excuse myself for 2 minutes. I will be right back.
I have a stunt that might not be applicable at the moment.
What is it?
It says, because I'm so funny and attractive, once per session I can convince anybody of anything.
So you could call the air traffic control tower and go, hey, we need a couple of planes taken out a holding pattern and fly over this place.
As long as I don't sound fat.
Does that include the DM? Could you just
Yeah.
the building?
That'd be amazing.
I also have well connected. Because I am well connected once per game session, I can find a helpful ally in just the right place. So we might be able to either use that. I was thinking of using that maybe for building plans, but we could use that for rerouting aircraft if the Fraggin' Wagon's not able to do so.
This sounds like a great idea.
What
Save
about
mine for later?
if he
What
says
if
that
Sorry, go
if
ahead.
he says that that they don't like the sound, they don't like the noise? I wonder if we can create like Fraggin' Wagon's got some great speakers, right? Can we can we just like mount some stuff on the outside and
Crank up the
Sonic
Kenny G and
Vanilla.
see what happens.
We could Rick-roll them.
let us rickroll? Let us rickroll the harpy.
Let's do it.
This might be cheating, but what if I get the genie out and just wish that harpies never existed?
Then the
like that.
adventure ends and we all get called back to be guest stars on JQ3.
I also considered using my like succubus demon stuff and like hopping in there and just grabbing Christian and popping back out.
All right. Thank
could
you. I
vamp.
had a child care issue.
All right. Well, we've been talking about some options.
We have
Excellent.
good options.
I'm thinking. I mean,
Do them all.
if Jimmy wants to roll for it, I mean, you could go ahead and roll, or we could let Gary use his stunt and create a friend in a place. How'd you word it again?
Well connected. Once per game session, I can find a helpful ally in just the right place. So it could turn out that the air traffic controller in charge was a former Brotherhood agent, or is just an ally of one of the guys. It's like, yeah, sure, we'll reroute traffic for you, but this is what it's going to cost you.
Go for it.
All right, I'll expend that once per session, and
So
see who I can
This
find.
seems like so we've created that he exists, but wouldn't he have to create an advantage off of that, convincing the guy to reroute some
Not
stuff for us?
necessarily.
Yep.
I think
Or-
it's as a stunt. It's sort of meant to be kind of a gimme.
Mhm.
So you have to kind of decide based on how the stunt is worded, how for the GM, how is the DM going to actually fulfill that, and make it worthwhile. So, and Ben, so you can decide whether or not there needs to be a roll. But because he has a stunt, that is a truth in the game that he just does happen to have somebody.
So the goal is to route a number of planes all at once.
In quick succession, so they're not like on top of each other, but one will come down, then brief pause, another one will come down.
Yeah, I think that is going to require a roll, just because your contact is going to be all about helping you out, but this is a private airfield, and so it's a lot of rich people landing here, and it takes more efforts to convince them to do things differently.
No, that's fair enough. All right, so I will carefully social engineer that, because it does require a bit of tact. And that is a 18.
Wow.
Ooh.
I'll buy it.
2 9s.
Yep.
Fantastic.
I could demon die it, but I think that'll be enough.
What approach
good.
and discipline did you use?
Careful social engineering.
Excellent, thank you. All right. Well, you're on the phone for a bit, chatting with your friend as it's getting darker.
Yep.
In fact, probably it's going to take, and there's a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, and it'll take time. You can't just immediately reroute aircraft. It'll take a few minutes at least to sort of go, here's your window of when this will work.
Yeah, it actually ends up taking about 40 minutes to get the window set up and planned.
Wow.
Yep.
In the meantime, I asked Wen if she would give me a hand in setting up the speakers on the outside of the van.
Okay. Excellent.
As a
So it's
backup
two-pronged
plan,
sound
we
attack.
are looking at creating a large audio distraction if need be.
As a backup plan, I would like to scan the construction of the building for weak spots in case I need to make a very large door.
Definitely the south side and the east side.
All right.
Have options. The south side because there's already the big sliding doors on the second story, and the east side because it looks like it opens up onto a really huge area inside.
Excellent.
So there's less structural support.
Perfect.
Okay, so you get to minute 36. Which side of the building are all of you at? The east side is the one closest to the airfield, but there's a little parking lot that way. But the east side is the hardest to approach from.
So set the speakers up on the other side, maybe.
So what he's asking is where did we park? Where are we?
Well, that's sort of what I'm suggesting is maybe if we set up the Frag and Wagon on the west side so that it's two-pronged sound attack. So airfield this way, speakers that way, and then we basically pick which way we're going to approach from.
Yeah. Cool. Their door, it looks like most of the doors are either on the east or the south side.
So we could approach from the south side.
Yeah.
All the noise is going east-west, and then we go south.
Which side was the bushes on?
South.
South side. Okay.
So yeah, south is probably our best approach, and then east-west is the distracting noises.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right,
I pull out some earplugs.
Yep. If you're shaking hands, can get them into your ears.
Sort of
I
mashes
really should
them.
give you a condition.
I'm just picturing the squirrel from a certain animated movie.
Okay, so you are approaching from the south side. The window is coming up when suddenly, 4 minutes before the window approaches, there's a loud flash. The earth shakes, and you hear an explosion from the other side of the building.
So the north side?
Yes.
Okay. I'll turn to Isaac and say, do you know a portal spell or anything that you might be able to throw me to the other side of the building?
I don't want to know what'll happen to my intestines if I try.
I can just take you.
Oh, I didn't realize you could take people with you. I just thought you could pop your. Oh wait, no, you've done that before. Gary knows this. Gary turns to win then.
Gary was under a lot of heavy drugs when that happened. It's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, when I have a favor to ask, can you pop me out from around something that might be inside me right now? Like,
Okay,
can you
so-
just...
So, Gary, you wanted to go to the other side of the building.
Yes, Wen, that would be most appreciated if you could be
While
so
they're
kind
doing
as
that, I'm going to start sprinting towards one of the doors on the south side after the explosion. Well, I'm going to try to kind of sneakily do it.
Okay.
Yep.
All
I'm
right.
going to follow her.
Okay, so you're following that way. Wen and Gary are popping to the other side.
I'm going to just create a general distraction by driving in circles around the place and blaring
Rickroll, Rickroll!
Rickroll.
All right.
Tokyo Drift. Tokyo Drift.
I'm gonna go with the Cat and the Rat because I've embarrassed myself in front of Wen and I can't be around her right now.
All right. So
That's your default state, isn't it?
So we have
Well, I gotta keep it up.
we have the people on the south side who are approaching the building. You have the car on the west side who's doing circles, and you have Wen and Gary who are going to teleport and appear and discover what's going on the north side. As the planes start to come in, your window approaches. There's noise everywhere. a lot of shaking, rumbling ground. Let's go ahead and start with Win and Gary.
Okay.
Who appear on the north side of the building, where there is a smoking hole on the first floor on ground level, and you see what looks like 4 shadowy figures going in. One of them appears to be holding a clipboard. They're wearing very nice black suits.
Okay.
And yeah, go ahead.
Do we recognize these things?
I mean, they look like humans.
Okay.
They don't see you yet, but if you make any noise, then they probably would turn around.
Well, but there's so much other noise.
That's true. That's very true.
I would like to enter into the building, but try to be stealthy about it. I don't want to announce.
So you're gonna try to follow them?
Yeah.
Did you?
I don't know what
pop
Gary's
in?
gonna do because I'm impulsively going.
Gary will turn to Wen and say, "Do you want to pop in, and I'll just follow behind them?"
Oh, I could do that. You follow them, and I'll pop into the building.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we need some kind of. Do you have anything like sneaky there, Win?
I do.
Okay.
I can use sneaky.
And how about your discipline?
Fringe or
Okay.
covert ops, because I'm trying to be.
Probably covert ops.
Okay.
Mm.
Do I get an advantage? Because I'm sneakily trying to become. No, probably not. All right, let's see what happens. I got a 13.
That's enough to not appear in a place inside the building where they see you. And
Wonderful.
we'll describe in a minute what you're seeing. Gary, you're sneaking in after them on the south side of the building.
Mhm.
Our animal contingent, our panther and rat, and our constipated guy.
The corn dog. The cat, the rat, and the corn dog.
Yep, the cat, the rat, and
My
the corn
favorite
dog.
children's novel.
So what you see close to the building, there's a ladder, steel rungs. They're a little rust. Well, they're steel, so they're not iron rungs that you could take to get up to the second story and get in through that way.
I totally make a leap for it.
Okay.
Okay, I try to follow behind him. Might be a little bit difficult because
It's kind of high. It's about 20 feet high. Because the first floor is tall.
Okay. I'm sure I can handle it. I mean, I'm a cat.
Okay.
But
Okay. So you're entering the building. Jimmy, you're doing wheelies or, whatever cars do.
Just car stuffs.
Car stuff. So
Some circle
inside, the light is fading quickly, but there's still some light coming in through ancient windows that are, encrusted with bugs and muck and stuff. There's a bad smell throughout the building, like the smell of the harpy droppings, but 10 times worse. Fluttering in the shadows, that kind of thing. On the second floor, the animal team enters into. They're in the middle of a long, long hallway that's surrounded by massive banks of pneumatic machines. It's all mechanical with small aisles between them, just going off into the darkness. On the other side, you're in a large chamber with a lot of exposed gears and ironworks, and that's open. It extends all the way up to the ceiling of the building, all those stories high, with catwalks and massive boilers and pillars and shadows, and it's getting darker. And you can both, from each of your perspectives, see the other group, whoever they are, essentially assessing the lay of the land, looking around, figuring out where they're going to go. And if you listen really carefully, in the distance you hear the faint sound of crying.
I'd like to try to go toward the crying because, it sounds a little bit like Christian.
It does. It really does.
And you just
Okay.
off the couch.
All right, so you're going to follow the sound of the crying. Gary, what are you going to do? I ask you as you drink your tea or coffee.
No, coffee.
Australia drink.
It's coffee, mate.
Okay. Does it have
Gary's-
marmite in it?
No, that's Britain. Vegemite's Australia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. I was worried.
No, nobody needs diesel and salt in their coffee. I will leave the generator behind because I feel that trying to move stealthily with a generator defeats the purpose. And stick to the shadows as much as possible because I'm just a harmless old man and a sneaky old bastard. Just basically trying to get close enough to hear them if they're talking to each other, but not close enough that if I step on a leaf or something, they're going to hear me behind them.
All right. You are able to get close enough to hear them. They're mainly communicating in hand signals. I mean, these guys are pro.
Yep.
But you can see that one of them is looking carefully at that clipboard, at a piece of paper on it. And if you get close enough, you'll see that across the top of the piece of paper, it has the words Exhibit G.
Okay. I might actually roll to get close enough to see if I can read the rest of that paper.
Okay.
So I will sneakily covert ops behind them.
Okay, that's a good combo.
Yep. Not a great dice roll for me, but that will be a 9.
A 9.
Okay.
Not quite close enough, but you are able to catch their whispered murmurs, which have to do with things like timesheets and violations and union regulations.
This is a Screen Actors Guild Enforcer troop, perhaps. Could I possibly tap my D6 condition from before for pretending to be a Screen Actors Guild Enforcer to see if I can confirm my suspicion?
Go for it.
All right. So I will cleverly social engineer and add the D6 to recall my recent research.
Okay.
That will get to a large number which I'm having trouble adding up. 21.
Whoa.
Okay. Yeah, you are very clear that that's what they are, and that they, one way or another, are going to get this timesheet filled out. They're going to get the actor properly chastised. It's going to totally screw up his Station 12 next time. Yep. And who knows what horrible, horrible things they'll do to the Harpies if they can get a hold of them. Because they're non-union and they shouldn't even be on this show.
How many, did we check how many when Christian signed in? Because how close is he to the maximum 14 hours on set?
Well, there's no maximum. You just keep accruing penalties.
Okay.
He's over 12 hours, which means he's owed a second meal, which he assuredly hasn't received. So there's a huge penalty there. He's racking up. He's gone from time and a half to double time at this point. Undoubtedly, the Harpies have not given him a 5-minute break this hour. Yeah. I mean, they're racking up violations like they have gold in their hands.
Yep. Fair enough. Gary will relay this information over the phone, but he didn't actually tie anyone else in besides the Fraggin' Wagon to the call, so he'll have to rely on the Fraggin' Wagon to relay the information to other people.
All right.
Ben, I'm looking for harpies. Are they
I'm
on
sorry,
the ceiling?
harpies or harpies?
Yeah, I'm looking for harpies.
Harpies, okay. That makes more
Private
sense.
docks.
Yeah, the other thing you could probably find with Isaac, but, keep it on the quiet.
All right, so you're in the big scary long hallway part of the steam tunnel. You hear rustling. The three of you, are you moving forward together? Down the center, along the sides?
I'm going along the side. I'm sneaky. You know, one of my aspects is I have keen subterranean senses, and this feels very like confined and dark and dank. So I'm feeling really right at home right now.
Okay. You continue to work your way down the hallway. At the end, there's a door that appears to lead into a large chamber, the same one I described earlier. There's also a metal staircase. There's a hole in the floor, a metal staircase descending down into another part of the steam plant.
Okay. Well, they keep coming out of the roof, or the second floor, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they can fly, but I guess, like, it makes sense that it might still be up here, so...
Yeah, if it helps, the sound of the tears is coming from below, but you hear more wings rustling from up above.
Yeah, all right.
I'm going to go down the staircase. I'm going to sneak down the staircase.
Okay.
She goes down, and I'm going to keep going into the other room.
Okay.
And
all right.
Follow the sound of flittering.
All right, so...
I will follow the rat.
Okay, so the Panther goes down the staircase like Debbie in Dark Dungeons. We'll come back to her. The others of the two of you look into the main room where you're able to... When and what are you doing?
I'm following the crying.
Okay. So you see Wynn working her way across the floor in the direction of where you think that the Panther went. And then there's another group of shadowy figures on the other side. You're not quite sure what they're doing. They haven't seen you yet.
Okay.
They look like badasses.
But still no wings, no fluttering, no...
Wings and fluttering are generally up. And there are gantries and metal staircases, and you could certainly...
I'd like to try and get into the catwalks if I can.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. The challenge is going to be sneaking in a way that the enforcers don't see you. And you still don't know if the Harpies are aware of you or not.
I'm a sneaky rat.
Okay.
I will sneakily use my covert ops, and I will tag my aspect quiet as a mouse.
Okay. Well, it seems unlikely that you will fail at that. But, stranger things have happened.
It's true.
We did have 24 shots of espresso.
That's right.
Simply twitching his whiskers is causing a small hurricane.
It's a 15. It's enough.
Excuse me. It's higher than that. 13, 7.
Yeah. Yeah, that's enough to be sneaky, but it's taking a lot of iron will and control to keep your claws from just shaking from all the caffeine and clittering on the metal. But you were climbing your way up the catwalk.
Master, so I clear my mind.
Okay.
The jittery.
What are you doing?
Lumbering along as quietly as possible.
Well, you're currently looking out. So you're on the second floor there. So there are actual kind of hallways with railings around, looking around there. So you can walk along those. Getting onto the catwalks, you're heavy enough that they might really kind of creak and create some problems.
Yeah. I'm kind of at a loss of what I should be doing for the team right now.
Since you all split up as individuals and into a situation where it certainly won't be dangerous to be caught alone.
No. Never.
I do draw my shotgun for one. I don't want to be caught without that out.
Okay.
I just kind of keep exploring where I will make the least amount of noise. Just kind of keep my eye out, try to...
So, Ben, one thing just that you could do, because I know it can struggle sometimes, you could use your mystic arts to make like an occult roll about harpies, and maybe we can gain some knowledge out of that.
That is true. That kind of was my whole concept. I was supposed to know things. So I get my book out. I get my book out, and let's activate You Have No Idea the horrors I've read about. And use mystic arts and my cleverness to try to remember everything my daddy ever taught me about harpies.
Okay.
All right, so let's see here. That'll be a D10 for mystic arts, D8 for clever, and a D6 faith dice.
Nice.
Yep. 10.
Okay, so 10.
Okay.
Faith dice. Okay, so I rolled 10 to remember harpies.
All right. Well, everything you learned about harpies is that they're out of Greek mythology, that they're a lot bigger than this. It doesn't like pygmy harpies don't appear in Greek mythology. So there's something weird here. There's something weird about this that deviates from the historical record.
Okay, I don't remember. Do we have an open line of dialogue? Like, do we have a Skype open or something?
My ears are full of earplugs.
I had an open mobile link with the wagon.
Okay.
So conference call everybody in pretty
If you've got
easily.
something to talk into, I can hear you.
Okay. Well, then I'm just going to get my phone out and text the van. Hey, harpies are usually bigger than this. I don't know why I didn't think about it till now, but they're not. They're typically pretty big things, and these are like birds. So could you let everybody know? That'd be great.
I relay that message.
Well, you would relay that message. It depends on how well you can multitask, because you are being dive bombed by a swarm of harpies right now.
Excellent.
Apparently, you made the noise for long enough that they decided it was less. The noise was less of a threat than you were an annoyance.
And also, I'm a panther, so I don't have like any communication stuff with me at the moment.
That's fair enough.
All right. So right now, there's not a lot of damage they can do to you, other than just leaving their droppings all over your lovely paint job.
You sons of bitches, don't mess up that mural.
But it does give you a good look at them.
And what do I see?
Oh, well, the big thing you see is that they move like a swarm. You know, like when you're watching starlings, they all move together. These aren't moving like they're individuals.
Mm-hmm.
So behaviorally, that is certainly a little different.
So they're moving sort of like birds, responding to threats and everything.
Right, but they're moving more like they're one mind instead of thousands of minds.
Got it.
5 minds.
Also, you're covered in bird shit.
Sons of bitches.
Pigeons have nothing on harpy shit.
I'm gonna text and drive and just kind of shoot that message out to everybody.
Okay. All right. So let's track. So our panther was heading toward the Sound of Tears, and when you were heading toward the Sound of Tears?
Correct.
All right. So you two are going to meet at the base of that stairwell, and you see that there's still deeper to go. Apparently, the plant extends underground as well. The Sound of the Tears is louder down there. It's dark. It's smelly. You're kind of in the bowels of the plant until you finally reach a door behind which it's almost certain that you hear Christian sobbing in a very actorly way.
Mm-hmm. Good. Is the door locked, or can we just...
It's not locked. But there's also you can hear him sobbing, but if the sound of hundreds of tiny creatures breathing were a thing, you would be hearing it.
Gross. All right. What do you think? Should we go in?
I pull at it. Go,
Mhm.
rawr.
Rar. Right. That seems like an assent to me. Let's enter dramatically.
Flashly combat tactics.
Let's kick that bitch in. Let's send Panther first. Like, break down the door and be scary. Yeah, right?
I can try to just knock the door off its hinges.
And then,
Has
like,
everybody seen Equilibrium? I'm envisioning the charge onto the door and then sliding in on the door with the panther.
Oh yeah, send in a Tetragrammaton Panther. Hell yeah.
I'm gonna jump on her back.
So we've got a succubus
Tokyo
riding a
Drift
panther
style
into a
in,
door
but
slam.
on the Panther.
Oh, this is awesome. If this was Exalted, you'd be getting so many stunt dice for this.
Tell me what you're going to use for this.
I'm going to use my pounce discipline again with the forceful.
Okay.
See how that works. Is there anything else? That is 5 and 1. So that's 6. I'm gonna toss both of my demon dice into this.
Demon dice or faith dice?
Faith?
Faith dice is from the pool you have. Demon dice would be giving Ben more dice.
Yes. How exactly do I use the faith? That has to go with one of the discipline acts or aspects,
with faith
correct?
dice, you have to tag an aspect, yes.
Yep.
And they have to be justified.
So
The only ones
what
I have-
aspects do you have?
Oh. I have mechanical tinker. So with that, since I know a lot about mechanical stuff.
As a cat, don't you have a separate character sheet for the cat?
Well, she said she had separate
I
stats.
had separate aspect, like the
Aspects and disciplines.
or approaches and disciplines. I had separate approaches and disciplines, but I didn't make like stunts and stuff for it.
But she still has the same brain. She would know. She would still know the same stuff.
Yeah, it's just I can't like talk, but I still have the same mentality. So.
So you would tag that to go. Oh, that looks like that part of the door. If I smack into that,
Yeah. I was like, if I can hit it at the right spot with my paws, it'll like weaken the door enough that it'll slam down. So I can add that.
Does that sound reasonable to you, Ben?
Sure.
Okay, so
if I'm writing you in, I could also send out a pheromone attack.
on the door.
So, okay, just
No,
so we've
when we
officially
come
created the
inside.
Sex Panther attack.
Sex Panther.
Okay, so I rolled the faith die, and that was a 5, so that brings my total up to 11.
Okay, Sarah, what are you rolling?
I'm gonna roll Fringe because I'm a succubus, and I'm gonna roll Clever because I'm going to use my attack in a clever way because I know that there's things around me, and I'm going to tag my aspect. Did I mention I'm a succubus?
Okay.
Can I tag more than one?
No, but you can tag different aspects.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I can tag more than
If
one
you tag
aspect.
different aspects, you can
Oh,
get
I'm
more
sorry.
dice.
Yeah, you can't tag the same aspect more than once in the same round. But
Okay, well then I'm also going to tag, I think the answer is in your pants. And that's what's going to happen there. Now I need my dice. $25.
Nice.
Oh.
All right.
Dang.
So again in slow motion, the view from inside is the door bursting off its hinges, a panther landing on it. It's sliding forward with the most sexually attractive succubus imaginable on her back. I can't even.
There are no words.
What you see, what Christian sees, is this coming toward him. His face is covered with tears. He's holding a script in his hand, and he just looks up at this. His jaw drops as you skid to a halt. He's utterly speechless, and you see on the ground, script in one hand, a bowl in the other. That's where his tears have been collecting. A couple little harpy figures come out of the shadows, grab the bowl, and fly off with it down a deeper corridor, leaving you there with Christian. The script he is reading, there's a stack of scripts on the floor, and actually there are a couple skeletons off in the corner, human skeletons this time. We're talking scripts like Remains of the Day and Shadowlands.
Beaches, I'm guessing, is probably in there.
Yeah, a lot of really weepy
Steel Magnolias.
stories. You caught him in the middle of a really tearful monologue from Remains of the Day.
I walk up towards him and start licking his face.
And I reach my hand out and say, "Come with me."
He reaches his hands out, looks at you, and says, "Thank God you're here. Please tell me you brought a cigarette."
Yeah, I left it in the van. Hop on the back of my panther. Let's head on up.
Sorry.
So just breaking character for a minute, how much do I have to pay to get that scene filmed? Because I will totally sell my car to do that.
The tricky part is getting the panther to do what we want it to do.
Oh, just get someone to put a green suit on and CGI it in later.
Perfect.
I had to do that as a unicorn last week.
Sex Panther attack is unicorn?
No, I had to wear
Sex Panther.
It was not a Sex Panther attack.
That is cool.
Okay.
I feel like at this point my back is sagging ever so slightly from all the extra weight.
All right.
Christian is very small.
He hops
Don't worry
on
about
Very small.
and basically says, "You've got to get me out of here. If I don't sign out with Tony, he will. Well, you saw those skeletons. He'll do worse."
All right.
So Ben,
Yeah.
have I located any harpies in the building?
Yes, there are huge nests of them. They've made nests out of scrap paper and all kinds of crap, just all along the top, lining the roof. There are probably thousands of them,
Fantastic.
and many of them appear to be sleeping. Some are coming back from their dive bomb attack on the van. A surprising number of them are empty.
Okay.
Recently lived in, but empty.
I'm gonna work my way back down.
Okay.
And what I would like to do is see if I could find a gas line or something that's flammable that I could open this place up and.
Okay.
So.
Well, I mean, flammable is tough. I mean, there's a lot of brass work. There's a lot of metal.
Okay.
The building itself is made out of wood. But
there's no natural gas lines?
No. This was built in the era when they would have fired up huge boilers and burned things in them.
Is there a coal chute then that he might be able to use?
That's possible.
Where is the boiler?
The boilers are multi-story tall, huge cylinders in this big room.
Am I the only one who's thinking that Isaac still probably has a decent amount of methane inside him?
So
now that you said it out loud,
time-lapse thing in his stomach ferments the corn dogs and creates a gas situation? And has the most epic pull my finger moment ever?
I'm just saying.
Sounds like a spell to me.
I think it's brought tears to his eyes, much as it would to the local populace.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be a cool guy.
You get to save the day. You get to kill all of the.
Not like this.
Craft service, man. God,
you know what?
I
know what happened. I lost my aviator somewhere, and that has just totally ruined me and my dice. and the climax of this game.
It's going to be my kind of big moment here. So I'm on the edge of the catwalk, and I'm looking around, and I'm seeing that there's not anything that's going to be flammable. And so I'm just going to grab my flamethrower out of my coat here, open up the spigot, and let's just see how many birdies I can burn in one fill.
All right. What happens. Let's see what happens. So, the rat is preparing to burn the birds. Honeycutt, what are you doing?
Well, I've got my shotgun out. As I'm making my way through, do I catch up with the rat guy and I see him getting his flamethrower out?
Yeah, I mean, he's several stories above you on the catwalks, but you know him well enough to be able to track him.
Yeah.
Gary, you're seeing the SAG enforcers heading down the same hallway where the Panther and the Succubus went.
Okay.
So there's probably going to be an encounter there sometime soon.
I'll quickly text Wen to say enforcers are headed your way.
Okay.
And then I will have a quick look around and see if there's anything I can do to... Actually, the boilers are made of metal, yes?
Yes.
I run back out the front and grab the generator.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like literally just sprint for it and then drag it back in, because I'm thinking I'll hook the generator up to the boilers and fry them. We don't have a resin lightning spellcaster at the moment, so use good old mechanical electricity.
Does brass conduct electricity?
Yeah. It's not the best conductor, but it does conduct.
Okay. Well, this could get really interesting. We could get all Return of the Jedi here.
Yeah.
All right, so flamethrowers in process, generators in process, SAG enforcer are in process. There's a lot that's about ready to happen when all of a sudden every single harpy in the place starts to screech at the same time in rhythm. Over and over.
Are they rickrolling us?
Screech, 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 screech. You can hear it from above. You can hear it below. You can hear it, a loud, loud sound of it from behind you. It's almost like chanting.
I start running towards the nearest open door.
All right, you start running toward the nearest open door.
Hold on.
Flamethrower opens up. You hold on. Christian holds on to you. It's very exciting for him. Not as exciting as a cigarette, but man, whatever.
Get into the cigarette. For after.
Damn it! Okay, and yeah, you managed to run right into the SAG enforcers, who pull katanas out because that's what SAG enforcers use. And then you hear the rush and the sound of wings. Some of the harpies up above are dying. The others are starting to swarm. And then from behind you, there's a loud screeching sound, much deeper, much angrier.
Oh, that's Mama.
Much bigger. That's Mama. That's Mama. She's coming up behind you. You three are going to be caught between the enforcers and whatever's coming that way. While, charred harpy corpses fall several stories around Gary as he's setting up the generator. How close are you getting there, Gary?
He'll get up to one of the boilers themselves. So I'm presuming the floor you said it was a wood structure, so is the floor wood or concrete reinforced?
That's concrete.
Concrete? Okay. So I'm going to assume that with my rubber boots I'll be okay, or my work boots, and I'll strip off a bit of the electric cable, so there's exposed wire, plug it into the generator, and then once the generator's nice and cranked, I'll just stab it onto the boiler and see what fries.
All right, so that's coming along. Let's go back to the SAG enforcers. Very angry people with katanas who think that you've stolen away their actor without signing out. What's the plan?
I'm going to, should I try to rush past them or try to dodge around them, I wonder? How much room is there, are we in a big room?
No, you're still in the small hallways.
Okay.
And they're at the top of the stairs.
So I'll have to try to, jump.
It's going to be very hard to get around them, because you're starting to go up the stairs, they're coming down, and they have your entrance blocked. And whatever's behind you is getting closer, and it sounds big and scary.
Okay.
Can I try to clunk them with something as you're jumping over them, maybe?
I don't know that you're going to be able to jump over them.
Yeah, if we're heading up the stairs, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the top of the stairs. You jump over them and you're going to get katanas through your belly.
Gotcha.
Well, also with two people in my back, I don't think I will be able to. If it was just me, I could probably clear over them, but with two people, I wouldn't be able to make it.
Yeah.
I'm going to flashily claw at them and try to get them to back away. Try to intimidate them, basically.
Okay.
Let's see. So flashy is D4. Claws is a D6. Where's my other D6? So that is 9.
Nice.
Okay. They back up a little. They're still holding their ground, and then the one with the clipboard steps forward, looks at it, and says, "Are you a SAG signatory?"
Yes.
We don't have any record that you did a Station 12 on this cast member.
I would like to roll social engineering.
Where's this moho? We've counted more than 15 violations right here, right now.
The person in charge of this set is actually right behind us. Don't mention her appearance. She is very, very sensitive about it.
What's your role?
My role?
What's your role?
I'm just a PA.
Damn it. They should know better than to give PAs to the actors. What's with the Panther? Do you have American Humane on set?
Yes, but outside in the van.
Okay, it doesn't work that way. You've got to have American Humane present.
Man,
adult.
listen, I am just a PA, and the person behind me, she told me that that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to take the Panther and the actor who won't stop crying, I don't know what his problem is, out to the van where they're waiting for us.
All right.
Can we hear this over the phone hookup?
Yeah.
Why not? All right. Go ahead.
Gary will yell down the phone. This is Second Assistant Unit Director. We're about to hit the lighting on the boilers. Can all crew please clear the set?
Ah, yeah, big special effects thing, and we're supposed to be outside with the animal handler.
All right. 2 SAG enforcers split off to go with you. The others march very angrily toward whatever's coming up behind you.
Wonderful.
Well played.
That's awesome.
You're heading that way when from behind you you hear the sounds of screams and grisly death as the harpy chanting increases in scope. So you as you make your way out into the big room, you see harpies preparing to dive bomb. They're all at once. They're trying to avoid. They're still harpy bodies falling, but there are thousands of them. The rat's doing what he can. But Gary, they are coming after you. When they're coming after your group as well, and
in my head, it's a lot like that scene in Aliens. Except they're in the rafters.
Yeah. So
as they approach, I'll start swinging the cable above me and try and hit the boiler as it goes around as well.
All right. You're gonna have to put up with an attack here, Gary.
Yep. That's fine.
So, based on my approach and discipline, I've rolled a certain number. What do I do with it?
Well, you add it together, and you can decide if you want to invoke one of your aspects, which would cost you a demon die, which you could roll that.
Absolutely, I do. All right, so I approach airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow.
Is that a European swallow?
I don't think you have time to find out. That is a roll of 16 as the mob comes after Gary.
Right, well, I will flashily combat and tactics against that because I'm trying to look cool whilst hitting the boiler and generally arcing around.
Okay. As they're attempting to just light onto you with their claws and start pecking away. Yeah.
I'm not sure this is going to work. I will tag Stronger Than He Looks to roll a faith die as well. And get a grand total of 7.
Oh, no!
On 2d6 and a d8.
Yikes.
Are there any ones on there?
No, there's a 2, a 3, and a 2.
Oh!
All right, so Don, we have a 16 on the Harpy's side, a 7 on his. What happens next?
He takes the difference in conditions. So, yeah, Matt knows what to do.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, no.
So 16 minus 7 is
a lot.
9.
8.
9.
9.
So that's
9, 6,
wild
8.
conditions.
Yep.
What conditions do you get
to assign them, Ben? I'll take them. Okay.
Well, you're certainly having pieces pecked out of you. So
all right.
Missing small but important parts.
Swiss cheese. Yeah, hi Ben. Swiss cheese I'll take as one. So, and the other mildly shocked. I somehow managed to hit the boiler whilst trying to dodge at the same point that it hit the cable, and I've managed to electrocute myself a bit.
Okay, and you probably have to keep your eyes tightly shut so they don't get pecked out.
Yeah, that's that. I'll just eyes shut, still swinging like mad at the top.
All right. The 3 of you who are coming out are also being swarmed.
Question.
Yes?
Since he's doing the whole electrical thing, how close am I to that?
You're about 30 feet away.
Okay. Because I don't know if the trouble aspect will kind of come into play since there's suddenly all of this massive amount of electricity fairly close by.
Well, and what's fun is each time it connects the end of it connects with one of the birds, there's this little flash. You can see this little bird skeleton as it fries.
Yeah. So Ben,
And-
one of the things that you get to do as the DM is if you know if you're if the situation can take advantage of a character's trouble aspect, you can spend a demon die to add to your rolls. If your villains discover the trouble aspect, they can use that to their advantage as well.
Gotcha. Well, I think Ellie is certainly in trouble with the fear of electricity, and this is an entire room full of electricity.
Ah,
Maybe you should stop being a panther.
Yeah, because if the panther freaks out and goes for a run,
She's no longer a sex panther.
No.
well, I mean, if you two can hold on, I'll probably be traveling even faster because I'm panicking.
Well, I'm
But
holding
you two
on.
Okay.
All right, so here comes the swarm, in case you're wondering,
Against who?
against Ellie.
Okay.
Okay, so wait. As it's coming down, I yell over my shoulder to Christian, get on top of me.
He says, you don't have to ask twice.
And I am stand restricted, so there's really only Christian then, I guess, if the storm can get to.
That's right, and he's wearing all those robes.
so you're using Christian Doyle as a meat shield.
It's appropriate.
He gets to lay on top of me. Come on.
Okay.
Mutually beneficial.
So he's attacked by the swarm as the panther panics and tries. So you have the swarm following you. As he lies on you, you lie on the panther, and she's just screaming through here, trying to avoid the electricity, dodging back and forth. Poor Christian. Dawn, you're continuing to flamethrow, I assume.
Yeah, but as I'm becoming aware of something bigger, I want to be conservative about my fuel because I really want to be able to open up big time on the big thing that's coming.
Smart. Okay. And Honeycutt, what are you doing?
I'm going to team up with Ratman, and I'm just going to basically cover him, keep things off of his side as well. He's got his flamethrower out.
Okay. So you're keeping him covered. The good news is that the two SAG agents are running with the Panther, so they're also taking some of the abuse and trying to slice at these things with katanas. So, the situation is basically under control until the Harpy Queen bursts out from the basement. The tyrannical, tear-drinking terror bird who's been sucking the tears of actors the way that bees take royal jelly until a queen emerges.
That's awesome.
I like the
And
title.
she is big. The drones are swarming around her. Now that she's there, they're suddenly acting with a lot more purpose. She's clearly controlling their actions. They begin attacking with Dawn. They're now coming after you because she's been able to identify you as a threat.
Okay.
But probably not very close based on that roll and based on that flamethrower.
And I ignore all mild physical conditions unless they are silvered.
Yep. And Harpy Queen is very upset. Let's see who she's going after. All right. She's identified the rat with a flamethrower as the biggest threat.
Yeah!
So you have an opportunity here as she comes bursting out and flapping her way diagonally through this multiple stories up toward you.
I want to run in slow motion at her with my gun, my flamethrower ahead of me.
You're just gonna dive into the air right toward her, meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was hoping you'd say that. Gary, could I have another attempt to complete what you're trying to complete here?
Certainly. Hopefully this is a bit better than the last one. I'll tag that again for the faith die. So I've got one left. That's an 11 with one of the d6s being a 1, so I'll re-roll that.
Ben, you get
That's
a
a bit
faith
better.
die.
No, that was the first one, so 15 is the total.
Okay. Let me make it. So a few things are going to happen at once here because drama. So there's a 15 there. Could I have your escape attempt, Ellie?
Okay. Escape. So.
Can I assist with that in any way?
I don't know. How many people can you teleport with?
Anybody who's touching me, baby.
Well, that's probably a good bet, seeing that all hell is about to explode.
All right. I'd like to zap us outside.
All right. So you, Christian, the Panther, and the 2 SAG agents with you, plus any harpies attached to you.
Right. Anybody that's touching us.
Zap outside as the electricity finally connects with the boilers, as in slow motion, the fluttering harpy with... Don, are you wearing a cloak or anything behind you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. With the black cloak fluttering behind you as you're going in slow motion through the air, gun in one hand, flamethrower in the other, going toward her, and you two collide just as the boiler explodes with electricity throughout the whole building, and from outside you basically see the flashing lights and hear the sizzling of flesh, and then silence. Followed by the sound of a very uncomfortable fart. Because Honeycutt knew when to cut his losses and run. I assume.
He was jet propelled out the door by his own assistance.
Yeah, just this moment of, just utter shock looking at this building, wondering what just happened, just standing there trying to process, and then
So I come out of the panther form and I just go, electricity, electricity, ah!
I'm still wrapped around you, so
I think we end up in a pile, and I'm just
and Christian's still holding on to you and
I
manages
have
to
a
end
lot
up
of
in the middle.
pheromones. You're probably quite happy right now. You're probably all right. I just pet you a little.
So Christian's lying on the
Aw.
ground between the two of you, a little stunned, not knowing what happened, and not wanting to ask because then it might stop. The 2 SAG enforcers unfortunately have lost their clipboard person and are looking kind of lost. And we don't know what happened to Sliver and Gary.
Yeah, we should probably find that out.
Yes. Do we have like a fire extinguisher in the van? Can you ask?
You can pull anything you like out of my glove compartment. It leads to a portable storage dimension.
Cool.
Wonderful.
So I start running. Where did we teleport out? Like, which side did we come out of?
Near the car.
Okay. So I run over to the car and I go to the glove box and I pull out, I guess, a fire extinguisher, and I start running back and hopefully find the rat and put him out because he's probably on fire at this point.
Okay, so you're running in. When
Yes.
you all are still surrounded by little harpies. You're one of the ones that came out with you, and they've been pretty dazed, but suddenly you start to feel one of them get a lot heavier. as the Harpy Queen literally bursts out of her body.
Well, that's disturbing.
Essentially, the old queen abdicated her throne at the right moment, allowing a new fledgling to become queen, and she is right on top of the three of you and very upset.
Oh boy, that was a bad time to drop Panther, because I can only do it once a day.
She is, however,
the
newly
fire
hatched.
extinguisher in her face.
She's newly hatched. She's going to be stunned for just time enough for one action.
Okay, I run up to her and I take the fire extinguisher and I go punk.
All right, roll it.
That would be my stats. That would be forceful, combat, and tactics. So that's 2.
Meanwhile, I am driving to the far end of the parking lot and picking up steam.
You leaving?
Pile driver!
Okay.
You get a Tokyo drift into her.
5, 6, 7. I'm gonna add a demon dice to this. So, that's 10.
She has a 15. So you'll be able to knock her back, but she's going to quickly recover and counterattack. The good news is that you did knock her away from you slightly, which has nothing to do with the oncoming car, of course.
When the fragging wagon hits 88 miles an hour, you're going to see a squish top.
Might want to get the hell out of the way.
Yeah. Don't forget, Ben, that I used a demon die on that.
Yep, I got it.
Don't help.
No, I'm tracking.
He's got a small handful of them there. We should be worried.
She's going to use her discipline, God Save the Queen, the god in question being Zeus. And attack again.
Ugh.
Using Clever and Hive Mind Control to bring all the other harpies with her. For a total of 11.
Okay, so I can roll and try to reduce the damage, right? Basically.
Yeah. You can do a defend.
Okay.
Yep. To prevent conditions and hits.
Do I also need to do that, or was she targeting her?
She's targeting her.
Okay.
So.
I'm going to take this moment to share with everybody why Chris Dupenthaler is not with us this evening.
All right.
Oh, jealous.
He is on his boat that he recently acquired drinking wine.
And quick. So.
Acquired a boat by drinking wine?
I should have so many boats!
I believe there was a Facebook post he put up to say that he was going to try and acquire all modes of transport now.
I rolled a 7.
Okay. So that's 4 in conditions.
Okay.
1 mile.
Yeah.
So 1 mile.
So you take 1 mild condition. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Where'd my pencil go?
And that mild condition can be you've been raked by claws and they're painful and bloody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jimmy, go ahead. Do your thing.
All right, I come blasting in at about 70 miles an hour and Tokyo drift that thing right into the side of the queen. And with a final "I live to serve," I self-destruct.
Nice.
So,
roll it.
let's see. All right, got my Cipher van. This is quick, going pretty damn fast here. I'm gonna get that Tokyo drift in there and use my last 2 dice on, let's say, road rage simulation activated and custom built vehicular Cipher kit installation. That is surprisingly low. Let's see. 9, 13, 16. What the hell? I'm gonna toss 3 demon dice in there.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
20, 24, 26.
That's what I'm talking about.
Going out with a blast.
Well, that is 6 more than she rolled. Yeah. She spent a lot of demon dice on trying to resist this, but I think that's one more fireball for the record books.
Woo!
You hear, the funny thing is there's a plane coming in as this happens, and then you just see it, maybe I'll just go back up again.
Requesting another approach, please.
And there's a sound of distant sirens. Now, who is running inside to check on our missing party members?
I'll go ahead and keep going with the fire extinguisher.
Okay. So everything inside is still kind of humming with electricity. It is.
Oh.
It's looking rough. You can see Gary in the middle. He's standing up straight, just kind of shaking, clearly still being electrocuted, holding.
I shout back at Wen as like, he's in there, help him, electricity, Did something.
Right. Well, I don't want to touch him because then I will also be electrocuted.
Try to blast the generator, I don't know, something.
Can I just turn off the generator? Can I unplug that shit?
You can't unplug it.
Oh no, because it's a portable.
Yeah.
If you can get to it to turn it off, maybe.
Yeah, is it turn offable?
It is turn offable.
Can I do that?
Can you like teleport to it really quick and hit the button? Maybe.
What? Can't I just walk across the concrete floor?
Yeah.
No, you do that.
That
Yeah, if you're going to be lame about it.
Sorry. But I mean, that wouldn't electrocute me, right? I'm not. As long as I don't touch. But I'm going to go turn off the generator.
Good
Don't touch
idea. You go turn off the generator.
Oh.
Gary collapses to the floor, unconscious, but alive. Maybe a little, maybe some brain damage.
That's not new.
That's 3 for 3 sessions that Gary has wound up on the floor burnt.
Listen,
There's
Not
no
dead, though.
sign of Sliver.
no sign of Sliver. Wonderful.
No sign of Sliver.
Is no like
Wasn't he like upstairs in the rafters?
burnt hair or anything?
He and the Queen collided in midair, and a big mass of explosions and electricity and feathers and who knows what.
I just start searching and see if I can find any remnant of our dear rat friend.
There's not even a sign of his body or his cloak.
What the flamethrowers? That's so bad? Just wondering.
Flamethrower, you find on the ground.
Great. I'm gonna just scoop that up. He'd want me to have it.
He would. And at this point, I think the important thing is probably to get Christian back to set and signed out. These SAG guys are pretty concerned.
Probably.
I'm gonna take him to Tony.
All right, so you're all gonna just call a cab or something?
Oh, that's right. We don't have the van now.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. We can go over to that coffee shop and like hitch a ride on the back of a truck. It's late enough for truckers around.
She did say that there were truckers a lot.
That's true.
So you head over there.
I'm dragging the unconscious body of our other friend.
Right. Christian bums a cigarette and a coffee off of the bikini barista. You're able to convince a trucker to let you go.
Did anybody grab Isaac?
Yeah.
Why would we need to grab it? Can he not move on his own yet? Still?
Isaac waddles off into the sunset.
I got I got some things I need to think about. I take it off on my own.
You can probably reconnect. And you know, you can leave the cleanup for the cleanup crew, and so the cleanup crew arrives eventually, which is when you wake up, Dawn.
Okay.
The world looks a whole lot bigger to you. You're very close to the ground. You feel strange appendages on you, and you realize it takes you a moment to realize that when the queen transferred herself into the body of one of her minions, you were so close to her that the same thing happened to you. And the last thing you see is Net from the cleanup crew scooping you up and tossing you in a bag.
That's awesome.
Poor Radigan.
Oh.
I would like one final scene, if I may.
Please.
So, I'm by myself.
Epilogue.
Embarrassed again. I find a high ledge, looking out over the sunset, and I retrieve the genie's lamp from my jacket, and I rub one out, and he says, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hey, I did it again." And he's like, "So what? The usual? Make Wen forget about all the cringy shit you did today?" I said, "Yeah, one more of those, please." And then we just both kind of sit there for a while.
I like that it was the make Wen forget and not the please solve the corn dog issue I'm having.
That'll resolve itself eventually, but I have priorities.
So congratulations, you returned the actor to set. You saved Journey Quest. Most of you survived, sort of.
Well, I mean, we all survived. It's just not in the same form.
Not everybody
You
survived.
didn't.
Oh, that's true, the van. Oh.
Well, I mean,
This team has a very terrible record of Cipher vans.
I'm just gonna was there like the black box recoverable from the Cipher van? Can we upload it to a new body? Because that's a kind of badass Cipher.
yeah, can
sounds
we
like-
Baymax that shit?
Funny
I
thing
would
about
say
Cipher
that it's probably unrecoverable.
the funny thing about Cipher vans is I just sent somebody a link to episode 4 with the van and the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Just today to get them to watch this show. So it's kind of funny that you would say that.
Well, you'll have to put in a requisition form for a new Cipher, see what shows up.
Yep.
Oh boy, we're gonna get a Mark III.
You'd be lucky.
You're lucky. Well, Ben, thank you so much. I think you did a great job.
No kidding.
With, like,
He
not
did
really...
awesome. That was great.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
How
like
did you
the
find? So Jimmy and I are going to be curious. How did you find the rules being thrown at you like that?
Fine. No, but I felt like I totally had the hang of how things worked by the end. Super straightforward. Like the moment I got it on approaches and disciplines, it clicked.
Yeah. And how about you, Ellie? How did that happen for first time playing?
It definitely helped. I've played a little bit of other stuff, so I kind of had an idea, but that definitely, I understand how things work a little bit better now.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool, because now I can go to my friends and be like, hey, this is how we can play it. This is how it works. So.
Yeah, and you can say, hey, I was a Sex Panther.
You can say you were tied up in a threesome with Christian Doyle.
You can say that.
You might not want to say that, actually.
I might bleep that part out, but
It gets you on certain medical watch lists.
It's a no-fly situation, I think.
Well, yeah, new unicycle for them next. Get a unicycle Cipher next time. But well, cool.
Segment.
Well, that is basically 3 hours of DG game night. Thank you all for stomaching through 3 hours
Thanks.
of goof around. Pun intended.
God damn it.
So we've had actually the most consistent viewers of any episode so far I've seen. As I was watching, we were up to 12 to 13 once,
Wow.
but I never saw it go below 8. So for this show, that's pretty damn good.
It gets more hits on YouTube later.
Yeah, we do. Crazy people like to use this as a sort of podcast, which is great, and I hope you find this episode really exciting. Next episode will be second Monday of May, because the first Monday is my birthday week, and I'm going to be doing something else. So there's that. Journey Quest Season 3 is happening now, and look for more updates. Anything else you want to say about that, Ben?
Sorry about Journey Quest.
Yeah.
Don't have to apologize for it. We just wanted to know if there was anything you wanted to add.
I do believe that there may be room, I could be wrong here, there may be room for more extras in some of the upcoming tavern scenes this weekend on the 9th and 10th. So contact someone about that.
Right. Figure out who that is, because we don't know.
Just call someone.
I'm saying that to the crowd, not to Ben.
Yeah. But you know, it's a tavern. People could show up from unusual places.
Yeah, right.
Go bug Christian. He likes that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sarah, did Tony ever text you back?
Yes.
What did he say?
I told him that I aggressively pheromoned him, and he said, "How'd that work out for me?" And I said, "You did not make your saving throw. It made you very horny, and apparently you expressed your love and attraction through hate, so you screamed abuse at me." And he said, "Huh, well, all right then."
There we go.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, everybody. Well, we will catch you next time for DG game night, and we'll see one more episode. So you can buy this beautiful, gorgeous book at paizo.com. They are distributing it. You might be able to find it at your local game store. And we are participating in Bits and Mortar, which is the program where if you buy the physical book at full price, then we promise that you should get a PDF as well. So Bits and Mortar, we will be able to help you get a PDF of the book for free.
And you guys are running games at Gen Con this year, right?
We are. 20 games are on docket right now. And I'm told that if we wanted to ask for more, we probably could, but I need a couple of more GMs. But yeah, lots of gaming going on. And then come by the booth, we'll be talking about it there as well. If you're going to
and Jeremy Spray is one that is running a few games, and he's already asked me if I would come and play in the game as when.
Sweet.
So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's great. So, yeah, Jeremy Spray is one of our DMs, and he is totally stoked about running this. I might, as a training, have him come on if he can technologically swing it and DM us through an adventure on a DG game night. So
cool.
Good night. Good fight. Thank you, everybody.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.